1, fight! Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Hero Network. This is Tournament Fights, episode number 290, and we are on part 4 of our action movie mystery series. I am your guest host for the moment, Austin Pez. Howell, Jordan Anderson will be along in just a little while, but I've got a panel with me here to help not quite wrap up our action series, but we are starting to wrap up our action series with the final kind of regular bracket here this evening, and we'll see what we've got in store action-wise here for tonight. So to help me get to the action here tonight, I believe it's his first time here on this action series so far. Michael Wolfman Wyndham, how's it going, Wolf?
Yeah, it was. I was supposed to be on one episode, but things happened. It was all good. But I'm here now. I'm really excited because I love action movies when they're done really well. Some of my favorite movies of all time are action films. So really excited to see what's on the mystery tournament. I don't know any of the films that are going to be on this list, but I will say seeing that Godzilla -1 clip made me a little depressed because I literally just finished watching The Electric State. The fact that movie is $350 fucking million, and then a movie that's $15 million.
You see those close-ups of Godzilla -1 and those amazing effects on that. Yeah, the Oscar-winning effects, and they only cost 10 or 15, whatever it was, $1 million. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Yeah, do better, Hollywood. Do better.
Exactly. Jeez.
He's not the only one here tonight. We've also got Mr. Nic Hernandez, who was on one of our other parts of this tournament. Welcome, sir.
Yes, I'm ready to go. Smile, you son of a bitch. That's the only thing I can think about during that scene. It's a great movie, though. I do love Godzilla -1. I've not seen Minus Color yet, but I do have the option, so I will definitely probably check that out.
It's worth checking out at least once. I still prefer overall the color version, just because I think there's some nice colors in the movie with the blues of the atomic breath and stuff like that. I think it's just I like the coloring, but the black and white one is worth checking out. It's interesting, so I think it actually. So it's not bad. All right. So we're moving on here. We got Mr. Zach Shelton. How's it going, Zach?
Good. I enjoy action movies, and of this list, I think I have 12 blind spots, but I've seen everything else. So a lot of the movies. So
I think I've seen all but 1 or 2 here tonight. I've seen most of them, so I think I'm doing all right. Mostly mainstream stuff, as you guys will see here this evening, and of course, joining us via audio as he always does, Mr. Ross Bristow. How's it going, Ross?
I'm good. Excited. I do love action movies too. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. How it's going to work tonight, it's going to work similar to a lot of our other parts that we've had so far. So like I said, this is part 4. We've had parts 1, 2, and 3 thus far, and they've all been just random action movies. So Jordan Anderson went into his flick chart, just went with the action subgenre, and then just brought up all kinds of random movies in random order. So, not always we won't, there's a few that, we haven't seen on here that are kind of all-time classics that just didn't pop up in the randomizer. It just kind of is what it is. But we've got a lot of stuff here tonight. I will say tonight's very comic book heavy, as those are action movies. So I think part 2 was also very comic book heavy. Part 1 or 2 was very comic book heavy, something like that. And then it's kind of been a little more balanced in some of the other parts. But we do have some regular action movies here this evening. Captain America: Winter Soldier won part 1. Speaking of comic movies, we had the Raid 2 win part 2. So nice little dark horse that won that one. Very fun. And then we had a fun part 3 winner of Demolition Man.
Wow!
Yes,
well done.
Militiaman took out Predator in the finals, so that
that's kind of insane.
Yeah, a little bit. So it was a tough matchup there. We'll see how all of them do in the championship. And speaking of that, what we're doing is we're building up to a championship episode that'll be later this month, and the Sweet 16 from each of the parts will be built into the championship. So the same thing tonight. Whatever makes the Sweet 16 tonight, we'll move on to that championship, and then we'll see what makes part 4. So that's basically how it's going to work. You guys are all Tournament Fights veterans. You know how this works. Just give me your quick thoughts thoughts and votes, and we'll get things going here. So everything's random in the bracket as well. It's all randomized, no structure here, and we'll see what we got going on. So I got the bracket here ready to go. And let's scroll over and see what we got first. We're going to start with Furious 7 and No Time to Die.
Ooh.
On versus Fast and Furious. So Ross, kick us off.
Okay, Furious 7 is where the series should have ended. But also, too, like, No Time to Die, I think, puts the perfect bow on Daniel Craig's Bond. So I'm going to go with No Time to Die.
Time to Die. Okay, Zach?
Fury 7, because I just have not gotten to the Daniel Craig James Bond.
That's right. You're still
Whoa,
catching up.
none of them?
He's catching up on his Bonds. He's getting there. He's working his way.
Yeah, I never seen any Bond movies before this year, and I've seen 7 so far.
Yeah, he's going in order, so I'll applaud Zach. He's going to go from start to finish and just polish off the whole series. So yeah, it's a long process. It's a lot of movies, so I know it takes time. You can't just binge them all in a week. you gotta space them out a little bit. Right. But Nick, what you got?
I haven't seen any of the Craig Bond films past Quantum of Solace, so I'm gonna go with Furious 7. I haven't seen those movies either, but I mean, I'm a little bit more familiar with that franchise, so Furious 7.
Okay. Yeah, Wolf.
Yeah, that's a good film goal. Sort of like how I'm doing all the Alfred Hitchcock films this year and such. So it's like kind of interesting. So out of these two, I think I'm gonna lean No Time to Die, and the reason why is because I would have easily said Furious 7 if it would have actually ended with Furious 7. I think that this was such a perfect ending to the franchise. The fact that you made like you're making 4 more after this movie now is just 5 more technically if you include Hobbs and Shaw. So it's like that. It's utterly ridiculous to me. So yeah, I'm gonna go No Time to Die.
Okay. It's a tricky one because I think these are both pretty solid. Yeah, Fury 7, could have been a great finale. I think the series should have ended with Paul Walker's death, and they had a nice send-off to him. And, you were already going pretty big with this one, and I think it could have ended there. It hasn't, unfortunately. But yeah, at least No Time to Die was a good, I think, send-off for Craig, and I enjoyed the movie. So you know what? I'm gonna go a little Bond love here as well. I'm gonna go No Time to Die. So we're gonna put that through. All right, there we go. Scrolling on down, we got Shazam versus Creed. So the battle of the one-word titles here. All right, Zach, you'll kick us off this time.
This is more of an easy matchup for me. I like Shazam. Definitely better than the sequel. But Creed is my favorite in the entire Rocky Creed franchise, and it's in my top 64. So I'm going to go with Creed.
Creed. Okay, Nick.
I'm also picking Creed. I think that the fight scenes in that movie are just fantastic. And while I have seen Shazam stoned, I still couldn't enjoy it. So Creed.
Okay, fair enough. Wolf.
Yeah. Shazam, not to get political or anything, but we may not like Zachary Levi on his views necessarily recently, but he still made a really fun and good movie. And Shazam also is a really great app too. If I ever needed to look up the music from this movie, I just click on that app anytime, and it's just like Shazam. It works automatically. I'm like, wow, that's perfect. Look at that. Sponsor me, Shazam.
It's a good app.
But Creed is absolutely one of the best Rocky franchise movies. The fact that Sylvester Stallone, this was like his year, this was him
Mark Rylance
fighting for that Oscar. They did that whole comeback thing. It's sort of like what they did with Adrian Brody this year, or like they did with Brendan Fraser in The Whale. This is his like, okay, this is you coming back. This is like your big comeback narrative here. And then they don't give it to him at the Oscars, and they give it to Mark Rylance, and that's just beyond stupid because, I think that he deserved it. Fear he was robbed. This is such an amazing movie. So, I'll definitely say Creed gets my vote.
Yeah, and I'm also going to go with Creed. I think Shazam is okay. It's not bad, but yeah, I agree. Zachary Levi is going to be in Pure Flix Angel Studios movies very, very soon. I have a feeling. So
He's
join
already
those.
technically in one. He's in a Kingdom
Yeah.
Company movie that came out or something called The Unbreakable Boy.
Yeah, I know, but that was made like 4 years ago. So, it was made like pre-Shazam 2, so that's weird. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Creed. It's really solid. Creed 2 is my favorite out of the thing, just because I love the Ivan Drago character. But yeah, Creed is still really, really solid, so I'll go with that. But Russ?
Okay, I'm gonna preface this by saying that Shazam is actually my favorite superhero. He's basically like big in a superhero form, but Creed is one of my favorite movies, so I'm gonna go with Creed. Even though I do love Shazam.
All right, Creed goes through. All right, and we'll go down to we got 21 Jump Street, kind of an action parody, sort of, and we got Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Damn.
So we'll go to Nick.
Oh man, okay. So here we go. Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie. I can't vote against it. I'm sorry. Rogue One.
Rogue One. All right. Wolf.
Yeah, so this is tricky for me. And the reason why is because I'm not as high up on Rogue One as a lot of people are. I still quite enjoy it, but over the years, I've found a few issues I have with it. It's something that's really not perfect for me, but I think it's probably one of the better entries for sure we've gotten in the Disney Star Wars era. And Tony Gilroy, it's going to be sad to see him go after Mandalorian season, or not Mandalorian, God, Andor season 2. Yeah, because that's he did a great job on that. And so it's going to be really sad to see him go after that. Here's the thing though, with 21 Jump Street. So I think the movie overall is better. I own it on Blu-ray. I've seen this film like God knows how many times now, and I die laughing every time. It's one of the funniest comedies in recent memory. However, that's kind of what I believe it is. Yes, it has some action sequences in there, but it is much more of a comedy than an action movie. So the way I'm going to dictate this vote is based purely on what is more of the action movie. And when you think of Rogue One, you think of the giant AT-ATs like coming at them while they're running through them and all the other epic action sequences, while 21 Jump Street, you mostly think of, Ice Cube threatening to shit down a snorkel. So yeah, I'm gonna go Rogue One.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Of what I've been mostly doing in this tournament is going with the ones that kind of fit the theme, of the whatever. And yeah, if this was a comedy tournament, which I think one of these movies might have popped up in the comedy tournament that we did, and I understand this action comedy, I get that, it's a buddy cop, action comedy. But I'm gonna go with the one that has the better action or feels more like an action movie. And yeah, and I think Rogue One has the better overall action. I mean, come on, the Darth Vader scene at the end, great action. So yeah, I'm going with that. Ross.
I'm gonna go with the Rogue One. I do love 21 Jump Street, but like the first thing I don't think about is the action. With like Rogue One, I think about like how much of a truly war movie it is, and war is a type of action. So I'm gonna go with Rogue One.
Rogue One. All right, Zach.
Yeah, see, this is tough because it's like I completely understand the action in Rogue One. I really love the entertainment value of 21 Jump Street, so I think I'm gonna narrowly go Rogue One, but I would have been okay with either one of them going through. So Rogue One.
All right, Rogue One goes through this time. All right, and we're gonna go down to we got Drive with Ryan Gosling, and we got Jumper. Speaking of Star Wars, with a little Hayden Christensen. So yeah, that's what that is.
I grew up with that movie.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Oh, I forgot to. I didn't upload the.
And back out the DVD
meme. I'll upload.
I have the
DVD. There you go.
Wolf, you're up first. Go ahead. What you got?
Yeah. So, yeah, I remember renting or borrowing the DVDs from my friends.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
He grew up with Jumper.
See Jumper. We would watch it together a lot of times. My family or me and my friends, we would just like pop in the DVD that we used to have. And I think we watched it so much that like I don't even know where that thing went. Either it was like broke or something. I don't even know what happened. It's a fun movie. I haven't seen it in ages. It's one of those movies that I am worried to rewatch. It's sort of like Grown Ups, where I watched Grown Ups when I was I watched Grown Ups when I was very young, and I liked it when I was very young, and then I was like, I'm not going to watch it again because now I know I'm not going to like it when I rewatch it. And so it's like the same way with Jumper, where I'm like, I liked it being at a younger age like that, but now I don't want to rewatch it because I know I'm probably not going to like it, and I just, don't want to taint the memory I have of it. But yes, but I can't do it. I know we were talking earlier about what feels more like an action movie, what feels more like this and that. Drive definitely has more of drama elements than I would say action, but it is an action drama, and there's definitely some scenes in there that are brutal. So I still am going to lean towards Drive, especially just because it's in my top 128. I fucking love Drive. It's Nicholas Winding Refn's best movie. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, and this one, Jumper's not very good. It's got a decent premise, and it has a few okay scenes, but it's not very good. This used to go on FX all the time, like just constantly. It's one of those movies that was just on a lot. They bought the rights to it and they played the shit out of it. Yeah, I'll go with Drive because I think it's not only the better movie, but I think the action sequences that it has are better. Overall, that opening sequence is great. One of the best opening sequences of the 2010s, I think, is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna easily go Drive here. Russ,
I'm gonna go with Drive. I don't think I've ever seen Jumper. I've only played the game. But if you look up the director of Jumper, Doug Liman, you want to talk about an interesting career. So yeah.
All right, yeah, Zach.
I'm going with Jumper only because I just have not seen Drive yet. So.
Oh, you got to get on that. It's good.
Yeah, definitely.
I know there's a lot of movies I haven't seen. Drive just happens to be one of them. So.
Gotcha. Well, put it on the list, sir. Yeah, I'll check it out. Nick.
So Jumper is in that special category of movie where I like the concept more than I like the overall film. But I also haven't seen Drive, so I'm going to go with Jumper.
Okay, it's closer than I thought it would be, but still Drive. We'll move on in this case. All right, moving on down to John Wick Chapter 4, one of a couple of John Wicks in this thing. I'll just spoil that. Versus Thor, Love and Thunder.
God.
Ooh.
Okay, are we all voting for John Wick?
Yeah, come on. Who's voting for Thor?
No one's voting for Thor.
That movie stinks. That movie's so bad.
I don't get though is kind of like people can like find those goats funny. Like they were funny for a second and they became annoying.
Yeah, it wasn't even the rule of 3. They thought it was the rule of 27 when it came to the screaming goats.
Maybe it'll be those goats is how Aquafina sounds. Sounds awesome.
I was going to say for Thor: Love and Thunder, I think the execution, the concept is good. Execution sucks. So
execution sucks.
I think it could have been a lot.
It's bad.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better.
Like you introduce Zeus, played by Russell Crowe, and you're gonna make him a bumbling idiot.
Yeah, he's a bumbling fool.
It literally had.
Come on.
I remember. Like after I saw it, Wolf and I complained, and people like, you guys are just too mean. It's that scene that pisses me off the most probably in the whole like MCU. She's literally crying because she's dying of cancer, and she breaks a sink, and they have a joke about an iPad, like if they had gone like that was my favorite thing. That would have been funny.
My favorite stuff is when they have Gore the God Butcher butchering gods off screen, so you never see any of it. That's great. Great job, guys. Thanks for upping the stakes. So, all right. I
will say that Thor: Love and Thunder is the only, I think, probably the only movie on this list that I just didn't finish. I got a good 45 minutes in, and I was like, the only thing I'm enjoying about this is Guns N' Roses. So I'm going to turn this off, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. I couldn't turn it off because I saw it in theater.
And the title sucks too. Literally they have his daughter, and then it goes Thor, Love, and then Thor, Love, and Thunder. It's his daughter too.
Yeah.
All right. Going down to Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. And The Island, the Michael Bay film.
Oh, whoa.
So, all right. So, Tommy, it's interesting because I know where I'm going to vote, but I do want to show a little love for The Island. I think it's one of Michael Bay's more underrated, cool movies. If you haven't seen it, I think it's a little more of kind of a grounded movie, some good sci-fi, good premise. And yeah, I mean, it gets into typical in the second half, kind of Michael Bay chase sequences and over the top action for what it is. But I think the first hour and a half is actually pretty good and has some great sci-fi stuff. So I just want to show a little love to that. I think it's a cool, one of his better movies. But I mean, Rogue Nation is going to take it. I think any of these Mission Impossible movies, especially after 3, are pretty damn spectacular, and they haven't let me down yet. So I'll go Rogue Nation. But Russ.
Okay, I know where I'm going to, but I actually like The Island. I remember I actually saw it in a double feature with The Island and then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at the drive-in. But yeah, like Mission Impossible is awesome, but like no shade against The Island. It's Mission Impossible.
All right, Zach.
Yeah, I've seen The Island, I believe, once, and I thought it was good, but Mission Impossible is my favorite franchise of all time. So Mission Impossible Rogue Nation for me.
All right, Nick.
So I haven't seen either one of these movies, but as I'm more familiar with the Mission Impossible franchise, I'm going to go with that one.
All right, yeah, Wolf.
So The Island, I watched this a while ago, back when DVD Netflix was a thing. Got the DVD of The Island in there, and I think it is really underrated. I want to give some love to that film. Everyone who's like says Michael Bay is a terrible director, go see some of his earlier work, like The Island and such. Like he does a really good job with this movie. But Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I will say it might be my least favorite of the Christopher McQuarrie movies, but the Christopher McQuarrie movies are all like high up here. So that's it's like one of those things where the least favorite's like, if all the rest are up here, then the least favorite's like down there, So it's like it's not really that much of a difference, but it is still an excellent film. And so I want to see Ethan Hunt versus John Wick. Let's do it.
All right, so we'll probably see that because Mission Impossible moving on. All right, moving down to John Wick Chapter 3 against John Wick. We're getting them all out of the way here. So
here we
Part 3
go.
and Part 1. So all right, right down to Ross. Let's see where this goes. Ross.
Okay, Part 3 is probably my third or second favorite in the series, but you can't beat the original. The simplicity of the original. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with John Wick. Like with Keanu Reeves comeback.
Just the original one. All right. Okay, Zach.
Yeah. As I remember watching the whole franchise, I actually liked John Wick 3 the most out of all 4 of them. So I'm gonna go with John Wick Chapter 3.
Ooh.
Chapter 3, Nick.
This is interesting because, I really like the beginning of John Wick Chapter 3. I think it's just got a very solid action sequence right at the beginning where he's he's running out of bullets and he's trying to find a weapon. He just literally builds one. I think that was really cool. But there's a good chunk of that movie that I just kind of find boring and bland, unfortunately. And that is just not the case with the first one. I think the first one is fantastic with the way that they direct action, and it's just bona fide classic. So John Wick.
John Wick. All right, so getting close here, Wolf.
So I'm a little conflicted because John Wick, the original, has one great action scene for sure, which is that club action scene that we all love. That's as far as the most iconic, and then the one where they're in the house is really great too. John Wick Chapter 3, as far as the action sequences go, yes, that might have the more standout action sequences for me because the knife action scene that happens, you're in the theater oh my god, I can't believe what's happening. The horse action scene where he freaking has a samurai fight with on horseback is completely insane. It's really good, and it's all practical as well. Here's the thing though, I feel like the first film, what made it so special is the combination of that amazing action with heart and emotion. I didn't really get the heart and the emotion from the third film. I got a lot of cool action, but there really wasn't that much substance, so but the first film, you really care because of what happens to his wife, then what happens to his dog, all this stuff, and you're really feeling for him and you're rooting for him, and it's a it's a really personal connection, personal character study. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the original John Wick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind either one of these going through, but as far as like the better action, I think it's part 3 because I think the action got better with each installment. Again, they upped it, they upped the choreography, the style is stylized elements of it, and yeah, it has multiple amazing action sequences throughout the movie. And I think John Wick has good action and set a standard for sure that I love. But strictly action wise, I would have gone part 3, but I believe part 1 wins, right? So. All right.
Part three to kind of like loses me when he goes to the desert.
Yeah.
A little bit. But all right, going down to Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe and Fast and Furious, which is part 4. So we will go to Zach.
Oh, what a matchup we have here. Yeah, this is easy for me because I've seen both, and I wanted to like Guns Akimbo, and I could not. I kind of did not like it at all. It never really grabbed me at all. I've seen every Fast and Furious movie, and I enjoy all of them, so I'm going to go with Fast and Furious.
All right, yeah, Nick.
So I haven't seen either one of these movies, but I think that image of Daniel Radcliffe holding 2 pistols is great. So Guns Akimbo.
All right, Wolf.
No, what makes that poster great is he's not holding 2 pistols. Those pistols are nailed into his hands. So he's like, he literally can't let go of the pistols. That's the thing. Is
he's like screwed to him,
and they got like screwed into his hands or something like that. So it's a wild, bonkers kind of movie, but to me, in a really fun way. I mean, is it perfect? No. Like, there's definitely a lot of issues I do have with it, but my baby mama Samara Weaving is in here, and she is excellent. Just completely badass. And yeah, Daniel Radcliffe, man, he's got such an interesting career. One day, I don't know if y'all have done it yet, but a great versus would be Elijah Wood versus Daniel Radcliffe. Because they not only do because of the whole
but does it just end up being a Harry Potter movie versus a Lord of the Rings movie? That seems kind of boring. Don't you think?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, but at the same time though, they both have had the same kind of careers though, where like he went on to do Cuties and then went on to do like all these other weird stuff, and then Daniel Radcliffe has gone on doing like Horns and then Guns Akimbo, like all this weird stuff. So it's like they kind of had the same kind of path trajectory in their life. But yeah, Fast and Furious, the 4th one. I think this one is kind of fun. This is like really what put the franchise like in step, and like the 5th one's the best, but this was like at least what put it into that trajectory. But I think I'm still going to show some love to Guns Akimbo here.
Yeah, and I don't think the 4th Fast and Furious is very good. That's usually one I skip if I rewatch them. I think it's just not a lot going on in that movie, and it's just kind of meandering. And then they really get to some good stuff in Fast 5. But yeah, Guns Akimbo, it's not perfect, but it's a cool, cool story, cool plot, this kind of real life video, kind of a better version of Gamer, the Neville Dean Taylor movie to a degree, him kind of playing this real life video game where he could die. And Daniel Radcliffe is fun to watch. So I'll go Guns Akimbo. But Jordan, we're voting on Guns Akimbo and Fast and Furious, the 4th one.
All right. And I'll just say, I watched 3 movies for this, and that completes everything. I've seen everything on this list.
Nice.
And everything I watched was actually good. One of them was like an all-timer that might make my 128. That hopefully I'll get to talk about. Hopefully you didn't cover it, but maybe you did. But here, I think Fast and Furious is fun. Like I think it's just called Fast and Furious. Yeah, but which is like dumb. Just call it like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And
I hate that. They also did the same thing with Final Destination, right? Instead of saying Final Destination 4, they had to call it the Final Destination.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just like we are having a Final
Scream.
Destination? Like, come on. Like,
And Scream.
Yeah, right.
Scream.
Scream. Yeah,
Yeah.
they keep doing that. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I think this one's okay. Like I'm kind of mixed between like what Wolf kind of said and Austin. Like I don't think it's great, but it is kind of where they get into like heist mode and they're really doing these like secret mission kind of things, you know. I mean, before just car racing. I mean, they got into it, they dabbled a little bit like Too Fast, Too Furious kind of, but I mean, this is where it like really takes off, and there is some fun stuff where they're like going through the mountains through those tunnels. I think this is the one where they do that, and going through I think Mexico or some South American country. Maybe it's not Mexico, but it's South America somewhere. But it's fine. Yeah, I don't love it. I think 5 is the best for sure. But Guns Akimbo rules. That movie's awesome. Like I love Guns Akimbo. It's just balls to the walls action. Yeah, like having those guns nailed to his hands or screwed in or whatever. He just wakes up like that and he's like, "What the heck?" And then yeah, Samara Weaving, Reese Darby. I mean, I think that's fun. Just really action packed. So I'll go Guns Akimbo.
Okay. Russ?
I'm gonna go, even though I haven't seen it, I'm gonna go with Guns Akimbo because Fast and Furious 4 is actually the worst one of the series because one of the things is that like I cannot buy John Ortiz as the villain. I just can't. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Guns Akimbo. It sounds more like my thing anyway.
I don't know who hasn't voted yet.
Zach voted already, I believe so. Yeah, but I think it's gonna be Guns Akimbo actually. So, all right, okay. Nice. All right, going down to BVS, Batman v Superman, and In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh. Damn. Wow, man. See, this is tough because I haven't seen In Time, and I've watched only the theatrical cut of BVS, which I did not like at all. So I think because of that, I'm going to go with In Time.
Yeah. Wolf, yeah.
The pun of the day. Get ready. Okay. Nick, In Time, you will love Batman v Superman once you watch the ultimate
I doubt it. I'm not a Zack Snyder guy. I'm just not.
Well, maybe In Time you'll like In Time because I like it.
I think In Time you'll watch it and realize how terrible it is. As In Time goes.
Oh yeah. But Batman v Superman, I am glad that we can finally discuss this because I am of two minds. For one, me personally, I love the Zack Snyder DC stuff. I know a lot of people don't. I think his movies are awesome. I have issues definitely with the theatrical cut. I don't think the theatrical cut is that good. Every time I rewatch this film, it's always the Ultimate Edition I watch. The Ultimate Edition definitely clears things up more and makes it more like the pacing better and everything. So I adore the Ultimate Edition. Think it's excellent. Yeah, this is one of my favorite comic book movies, actually. Like, I really like Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, a lot. I think there's a lot going there. I wish they could have continued Zack Snyder's vision because I feel like with the Snyder Cut, the way it was going, like it could have led into a different direction. The one thing I don't like, though, is from when this film came out all the way through like the Snyder Cut, it kind of created a very toxic online fandom that I feel has now seeped its way into other fandoms. And so in a way, this movie is kind of the blame of all that. And it's like, it's kind of sucks that this film has that kind of reputation, but I still really enjoy it quite a bit. And Ben Affleck was amazing Batman, in my opinion. But for In Time, yeah, I watched this back when a Redbox kiosk sort of thing, Missy Redbox, and this was definitely not worth the rental. I want my $1 back. I had or my $2 back. I was not a fan. I thought this was just really boring and just lackluster and just not interesting at all to me. And Justin Timberlake can't act worth shit. All right, stop putting him in movies. He cannot act. All caps, guys. Even in The Social Network, he was fine.
That's Social Network.
He was fine in that movie, but it was like not like that great of a performance. Like, can we stop with him, guys? All right, that's all I'll say. So, yeah, Batman v Superman gets my vote.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm going BVS. I love the Snyder DC stuff as well. Yeah, BVS is great. I think the Snyder cut is great. I think these movies are aging very well, unlike some MCU movies. They actually have themes and a maturity to them and cinematography. I think it just stands above a lot of other comic book stuff, and it works. So yeah, my vote easily goes to that. I think In Time is a great premise that executes it pretty poorly. that's pretty much what I've always thought. Great premise, but not very good execution, in my opinion.
Yeah. So this is interesting because, I do like Zack Snyder, but the theatrical cut of Batman vs Superman, it's not good. But luckily we have that ultimate cut, which I don't know why Zack Snyder has to go back and make all these extra cuts. Just like make your cut the first time and leave it at that, so you don't have to go back and redo it.
Studio.
Every time you have to redo it. It's crazy, but like, wouldn't the studio catch on after so long? Be like, okay, let's not mess with this guy, But I don't know. I'm not involved with all that, so because the ultimate cuts is way better, especially some of the dream sequence stuff really like plays into it more and stuff. So that's good, and I love Ben Affleck as Batman. He might be my favorite, just like pure Batman, possibly. I don't know. It's a toss up. I don't know. Love him as Bruce Wayne. Probably like Michael Keaton more as Bruce Wayne, but and then Henry Cavill, he's great, but it's just like the way that this was done, even on the ultimate cut, it's not. There's several other DC movies I like more. I'll just say that, but it is good. But I think I just want to champion In Time because we hardly ever see it here. I really like the unique concept of like not having money, where like time is everything because you only have so much time, and if you lose it, then you're gonna die, and everyone stays at like I think it's at like age 21 or something like that. So
27, I think, is what it is.
Oh yeah, maybe it's 27. Okay, because you have Justin Timberlake and then Olivia Wilde's playing his mom, but they look like they're like almost the same age because that's the way the movie is. And then like I'm probably more of an Amanda Seyfried fan than a lot of people. Like I like some of her movies, and
her new show is really good so far. Her
I'm looking forward to that. So I want to check that out. That one on Peacock, but and then Cillian Murphy. I mean, he plays a good villain, and Johnny Galecki pops up. He's fun to see. So I think that it is fun. I mean, none of these are just blowing me out of the water, but I'll vote In Time. So Ross,
I'm gonna go with Batman v Superman, but like I do like In Time. I remember it was fun. So yeah, I'm gonna go, but I like Batman v Superman a little bit more.
Okay.
So Malcolm likes it before the ultimate cut, I guess.
I still enjoyed it before the ultimate cut. I just think the ultimate cut smoothed out some plot lines that needed to be smoothed out a little bit. That felt rushed. So yeah. Zach?
Definitely fixed the pacing.
Yeah. I will say that I've seen both versions of Batman v Superman, and when I saw the theatrical cut, I wasn't a fan because it definitely left a lot more questions than answers. But then when I saw the extended, it definitely made it a lot better. And I haven't seen In Time, so Batman v Superman.
All right. Okay. All right. Moving down to
maybe I could get it past the first round for once.
No, it needs to be a better movie for that. Captain America: The First Avenger and Tokyo Drift is up next. Wolf.
or it needs to go up against a shit movie like In Time. Needs to
Yeah,
go up
another
against
like really shitty
more,
movie.
like Mordecai.
Maybe a shitty movie with a bad premise, then I'll at least give it
Yeah.
In Time for having a good premise.
Yeah, so this is an easy one for me because Tokyo Drift is actually to me the second worst of the maybe or third worst, maybe third worst because thinking about the franchise now, it's like the third worst Fast and Furious movie for me. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of Tokyo Drift personally. I know there's fans out there. I'm glad y'all enjoy it. But yeah, Captain America: The First Avenger is maybe the most underrated or not comic book movie, it's underrated Marvel movie of all time. Like this to me is high up in the conversation. Maybe like top 10, top 15 MCU movies. Definitely, like it's somewhere in there for me because it's just so powerful. The storyline between Peggy Carter and Steve Rogers, and then the relationship of Bucky and Steve, and seeing the formation of Red Skull from Hugo Weaving. Like, yeah, I think it all works really, really well in this movie, and I feel like it's a great origin story. So I'm gonna say The First Avenger because
yeah. Austin, what do you say?
I'm actually gonna go with Tokyo Drift. This is my second favorite Fast and Furious movie. I love this version. I love this movie. Like, I think I miss these days of the simple Fast and Furious movies where people solve their problems with racing. What a concept.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't about international heists and being spies and going to space. It was about, we have a problem and what are we going to solve it with? Our racing skills, which is what this movie is. So I appreciate that. I like the setting of Tokyo. I think the soundtrack is great. And I think the racing is good. And come on, man, it's our first movie with Han. Han's great. So it's good stuff, man. I love Tokyo Drift, man. I'm going Tokyo Drift. Jordan.
Yeah, so I also love Tokyo Drift. I think this movie rules. It's hard for me to pinpoint, but like depending on the day, this might be my favorite Fast and Furious. Actually, mine might be my number one. Like it's because like I just love the setting, the colors of it. I love the like just like solving it through racing, and then Han, and then I was the like Lucas whatever the main guy is, but like he's pretty good too. He was in what's that Billy Bob Thornton movie where he was a kid? I can't remember.
Sling Blade.
Yeah, he's in Sling Blade too. He's the kid from that. So, but yeah, and Captain America, the first Avenger is great too. I've loved. Well, okay, I've loved 3 out of 4 of the Captain America movies, but this last one, I still don't think it's trash. I think it's like decent, but yeah, but just because I love the Tokyo Drift so much, like the movie has a great soundtrack that like dun 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 dun, and they're singing in like Japanese, and like I just had a fascination with like Japanese culture, and when it comes across with American culture and like that kind of stuff, I think that's really cool. Or just all Asian culture to be honest, and yeah, I just have a blast with it. So I'll actually go Tokyo Drift. Ross, what do you say?
I'm gonna go with Captain America, the First Avenger. Only because like it's the same director as The Rocketeer and it has that feel. And then also too, I used to like Tokyo Drift a lot more, but then after what they did to Han, in Fast 9.
Yeah.
I know they kind of screwed him over, and he kept coming back. I don't get it. I don't know. Somehow he's dead. He's not dead. What's
like
going on?
and they don't even explain it, which is like
how they explain it is so stupid. That's what pissed me off the most. Yeah, that was Captain America, the First Avenger.
Oh yeah, Jason Statham. Yeah, I'll just say that. But Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I think Tokyo Drift is good, but to me, it does not compare to the First Avenger. First Avenger is a top 5 MCU movie for me, and will be in my 128 coming up. It's my favorite of the Captain America movies, so First Avenger.
Okay. Yeah, and also too, you forget about Zachary Ty Brad from Home
Yeah,
Improvement.
he was still playing a high schooler 10 years after he was playing a high schooler.
Yeah, right.
And he's kind of a piece of garbage. He's like been arrested
Yeah.
for multiple domestic abuses and DUIs. He's kind of a piece of trash.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
Yeah, go look him
Yeah.
up. Yeah, it's
Including
not
like
good.
one of them was actually for like strangulation. So wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
not good. Not good. Yeah, so
wow.
he's trash. So yeah. All right. But Nick.
Zachary Ty Bryan is
So-
trash. Just that.
Yeah.
So I have seen both of these movies, but I can't for the life of me remember anything about Tokyo Drift. So First Avenger.
Okay, fair enough. All right, then First Avenger moves on. All right, going down to the Towering Inferno and News of the World. Nice.
Right.
So, one of the COVID movies, I believe, kind of right in that area. Me first, yeah. News of the World. I remember. I think me and my parents actually saw it because it was one of the few movies that was kind of out during, that COVID period, and like it was fine. I only like westerns, but it was fine. But I dig a lot of these 70s disaster movies, and the Towering Inferno. I've always enjoyed. Yeah, crazy huge cast. There's some great practical effects. I think a lot of the practical fire stuff is really good. It's a nice one location setting. I've always appreciated it. I know some people find it long and kind of drawn out. I'm not going to argue with that. I think it is long, but I think it's still entertaining. So I'll go Towering Inferno.
Yeah,
Jordan.
So I watched the Towering Inferno for the first time for this. This movie rules. This movie's so freaking good. They don't make movies like this anymore. They like with the amount of practical effects and like the things they set on fire and like all the explosions and all the but then also on top of it, they have great dialogue and they really give time to see what these people are actually going through and like who screwed it up and what made this whole thing happen. And then you see people in like legit peril and they're like saying goodbye to their loved ones. And then after all the chaos, you see all the bodies and the body bags, and then you see people die in like some horrific ways, and you're just like, oh my gosh. And then you see some like shocking things, like you think they're all going to be saved, and then a helicopter blows up, and or something crazy happened, and you're just like, holy shit, this is like just one thing after the next. And also for someone who's kind of worked a little bit in the world of like flood and fire restoration. I mean, I had a job for Stanley Steamer, but I worked for most of the carpet cleaning, but they would have us come do the flood and fire restoration. They had a branch that did that, and also my brother also owned a flood restoration company, and I would go on some jobs with him. And there's a lot to that. Like that tower, like you look at it when it's done, and from the outside, it's not looking too crazy bad. But that tower is done. They have to demolish that building. It's over. It's just like, and it's just like what 150 or something story building. It's just crazy. But it's just so good. And like Paul Newman, like he's a legend. But then you got Steve McQueen, Fred Astaire's in there, William Holden, Faye Dunaway. That's a really cool cast from of like 70s players. It's kind of funny to see O.J. Simpson in there saving the cat. There's a scene where he saves the cat, but. And News of the World is good. Like I think that it's entertaining, but I mean it's no Towering Inferno. I think that Towering Inferno, I'm not quite like ready to say it, but I'm almost there to say it's the best disaster movie ever made. It's like that good for me. So yeah, that movie was awesome. And the score really gets you like emotional and like all that stuff. And the last thing that I'll say now. I'll finish it up, but I love the look of the inside of the tower too. They don't make buildings like they did in the 70s with just random staircases going everywhere and carpet in weird places and these platforms and like all the like different plants all over the place and stuff. They just have these boring buildings that are cost saving and safe, So yeah, but yeah. So I'll go Towering Inferno. Ross, what do you say?
I've seen both these. I gotta watch Towering Inferno again. But like in News of the World, I don't even remember it. I don't remember any action scenes in it at all. So let me go with the Towering Inferno. Even though they got like 5 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, and Fred Astaire was nominated.
Yeah, it's very light on the action News of the World. But Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I'm a Tom Hanks fan, and I did see News of the World when it came out in theaters. I don't remember really anything about it. It's kind of forgettable. I haven't seen the Towering Inferno, but because I have seen News of the World, I will give it to the Towering Inferno.
Oh yeah, if you like disaster movies, like make that like a must see. Like the Towering Inferno, it's so good. But Nick, what do you say?
Okay, so I haven't seen these movies, but I'm gonna give it to Tom Hanks. News of the World.
Sure.
Why
Wolf,
not?
please tell me that you see Towering Inferno.
Tower Inferno. Oh yeah, I've seen Tower Inferno. It's a great film. Yeah, no, it's I think it's really fantastic. The performances, the actual disaster. I agree. This might be. It's up there. I'd have to look at some other stuff for sure, but this might be one of the best disaster movies for sure. Yeah, News of the World. If this is a Westerns tournament, I would feel more inclined to say like, all right, we can bump through News of the World, But this is an action tournament, and there's maybe one scene where like, okay, he has a rifle and shoots a guy off a horse. I can't think of like any of the action really that's in this movie. So, while Towering Inferno definitely has plenty of action, so I'll say Towering Inferno for sure.
Yep. SAG Award nominee for best stunts, News of the World, and I'm not joking either.
Well, what's the competition there? There was no movies out. What are you gonna do? There's no movies.
The SAGs are weird. The SAGs would nominate literally The Irishman for best stunts as such, and it's like it had a young digital faced Robert De Niro kicking a dude, and that's the stunt.
What a stunt!
Oh man,
come on, that's much better than the John Wick 4 tumbling down the stairs. I mean, come on, we all know that's way better.
Yeah.
Much more impressive. Sure. All right, got Kong Skull Island and Spider-Man 2. All right, so Jordan. Kong Skull Island, Spider-Man 2.
Wait, which one moved on?
Towering Inferno.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was a tie. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but shoot, this one's really, really tough. Oh my gosh. Like, can I pass and come back to me? No. Shoot. Yeah, I think, man, because I love Kong Skull Island. Like it's like one of the better movies out there. Maybe even the best one ever made. Maybe like it's just really good because and like speaking like even like bringing it back to the Towering Inferno. I can't remember the name of the director from the Towering Inferno, but he directed some King Kong movies like the ones from the 70s and that kind of stuff. So he did those. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 is probably in my like top 30 movies of all time. I think it's my second favorite Spider-Man movie, and yeah, it's just really good. All that Doc Ock stuff and like the train sequence where you're trying to stop the train. You really see the anguish and like the just like everything that he's going through, and it's really kind of getting there to where he's just this like friendless and alone Spider-Man struggling to make it, which he kind of is, but he's kind of like not fully there yet, but he's getting there. So yeah, that's what I want with my Spider-Man. I want him with like no friends because he has to keep everyone safe and he has to just do this on his own, and he's just going through it and like struggling to pay rent and like just like having a rough go of it, but still saving people. So, but yeah, I'll go with Spider-Man 2 here. But Ross, what do you say?
I'm gonna go with Kong Skull Island only because I think it's the best movie in the MonsterVerse. Also, too, like I love that Seabiscuit reference, in Spider-Man 2. Like when he lands on his back and he goes, "My back," if you know the story behind his back.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, so that's a reference to like him actually hurting his back on Seabiscuit. So I'm gonna go with Kong Skull Island. Barely though.
Yeah. Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I've seen both, but it's been a while since I've seen Spider-Man 2. I don't remember much about it, so I'll have to rewatch it. And Kong Skull Island, I think I've seen it a couple times, and I really enjoy it. So Kong Skull Island.
Man, how do you not remember much of Spider-Man 2? That movie's very memorable to me. But
what did Ross vote for again? I was looking away from
Kong.
Kong. Okay, gotcha. Just checking.
Yeah,
Nick.
So I rewatched the first two Spider-Man films last year, And I legitimately think that Spider-Man 2, like just in terms of action, like this is where you get like the really cool Spider-Man crazy action stunt sequences, insane craziness. Like the fight scene on the monorail is fantastic. One of the best action sequences I think that has ever been put to screen. Like it is legitimately a very solid film. So I think just for this being an action-based tournament, you got to go with it, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it's like action, like great action versus great cinematography, because that's what you have with Skull Island, I think. So, but Wolfman, what do you say?
I still say Spider-Man 2 has some great cinematography in there as well, though.
Yeah,
but yeah, so I came to this conclusion when I rewatched all these films before No Way Home. I was going through all the Spider-Man films again and rewatching them, and while I have films like I've talked about, obviously like V for Vendetta or Logan or stuff like that, that are my favorite comic book movies, I have stated that I think Spider-Man 2 is the single greatest superhero movie ever made. And the reason why I think it's the greatest superhero movie ever made is thematically it is about what it means to be a superhero, about the fact that all the consequences we have to face as a superhero, all the challenges within our life, the questions that we bring up of, am I worthy to wear the mask? Am I worthy to come out there and do all this stuff? Like it is such a homage and such a love letter to being a superhero that I absolutely feel like this is the best superhero movie ever made. And Tobey Maguire is excellent. Another film I grew up with, but I watched it in theater, loved it. Such a to this day, easily my favorite Spider-Man movie. I know the Spider-Verse movies exist, but this is my favorite Spider-Man movie. Like I think this is excellent. And Alfred Molina as Doc Ock just kills it. He's so good. Kong Skull Island, it is good. It's a good MonsterVerse film. I prefer the Peter Jackson King Kong personally. That's my opinion. But yeah, I'll go Spider-Man 2.
I like Peter Jackson when they get to Skull Island. Before that, nah.
Yeah.
But Austin. Okay.
No, these are both really close. They're both in my 128. I love them both to death. Man, I tell you what, the one I've gone back to more in the most recent years is Kong Skull Island, though. So I think I'm gonna go with that. It's the best MonsterVerse movie we've gotten so far out of this American MonsterVerse. So I'll go Kong Skull Island. But that makes it our first tie. So we'll start with Ross, the tiebreaker.
Kong Skull Island, barely though.
Okay.
But have you guys seen the behind the scenes video of Spider-Man 2 of like Alfred Molina singing "If I Were a Rich Man"?
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
And I do want to give props to the train fight scene, because that has to be one of the greatest fight scenes in all of
fantastic.
in all of Kong.
It's legitimately fantastic.
The Bourne Ultimatum and Twisters from this last year.
Okay.
So yeah, a random match, but Ross.
Oh, easily the Bourne Ultimatum. Twisters is fun. In fact, it's the best 40X movie I've ever seen, because the scenes where they literally drive over the potholes, the chair would shake. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bourne Ultimatum is my favorite of the Bourne series. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bourne.
Yep. Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I haven't seen any of the Bourne movies still.
Whoa, that's another franchise you gotta get on.
Yeah. It's on my list to see. I actually own the first two. I just haven't gotten to them yet. And Twisters was a top 10 movie for me last year. I really enjoyed it. So Twisters.
All right. Nick, what do you say?
That's very surprising. You know, I'm in Texas, so I've seen Twisters a lot. I haven't seen this movie, but I have seen Twister a lot. I think I got to go with Bourne, though. I just think it's much more action based in terms of like the bigger disaster film. So Bourne Ultimatum.
But now, have you seen real actual Twisters since you live in Texas?
I have not. I do remember one time I went to Power Morphicon in Houston, and we all kind of had to huddle up in a hall because there was a hurricane warning.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the closest I've gotten. Yeah, no, it was nuts.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I've never seen one like actually walked out there in person, but at my school, and back in high school, we all had to basically just lock ourselves in the bathrooms and all that stuff because there was a twister, a full on tornado that was like right beside us, and it went like right beside our school too. Like it almost, like I said, it almost touched it when they looked at the radar afterwards, but it missed. It was kind of crazy. So, yeah, I didn't get to actually see it because I literally was like telling my friend in the bathroom, I was like, "You think what I'm thinking? Sneak out of the bathroom and look at this thing?" Because I really wanted to see it, but I just,
Yeah.
but we couldn't. So.
Next thing you know, you see the wolf just like fly off into
yeah, it's just like
whoops.
oops. So
Yeah.
yeah. So this one is easier for me. Twisters was a fine movie, but I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I would have gotten that 40X experience. This was like one that was just kind of, it was good, but it wasn't like anything amazing to write home about. The Bourne trilogy is amazing. Say what you will about the last two, but that first trilogy is incredible. And this one it's hard between what's my favorite, because if you ask me on another day, I might say this one's my favorite, but right now Supremacy is my favorite, which because of the scene when he has to be in the room and like confess what he did and everything, and just like, oh, that is such a powerful scene. So yeah, it is a really, really excellent trilogy of films. And Paul Greengrass is, I feel like, one of the only people who can do shaky cam right, because this has that like shaky cam action scene, but it makes you feel like you're in the action rather than giving you a headache. It's not there just to make you nauseous. So more people just can learn from Paul Greengrass when it comes to shaky cam. I think the Bourne Ultimatums were really good. So
yeah, he does another one with Matt Damon called Green Zone, and he has some shaky cam that actually looks not too bad in that one either.
Yeah.
But Austin, what do you say?
Bourne Ultimatum, I thought Twisters was fine. I don't think it holds a candle to the original one. It has a country music problem in that movie. And I just told that original one so much reference. And I think this one has some okay twist sequences, but not much. Bourne Ultimatum, I don't love the shaky cam stuff, but some of it's all right. Some of the chasing.
Wasn't that Anchor 2 just so stupid, but it was hilarious? Like when he really had the anchor in the car.
Oh yeah,
but real storm chasers have that. That's not.
They do. I didn't know that.
Yeah, go watch some of the Storm Chaser Discovery shows. They have trucks that like bolt into the ground like that, and they're heavily armored. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah. I think for me, so I have seen a real life tornado way off in the distance because I did live in Texas for 2 years in West Texas, and I remember. So I was a missionary for my church, so we went into like teach this lesson to someone, and it was like in the 90s outside, and then all of a sudden we start hearing all the tornado sirens. We're like, what the heck's going on? You go back outside, and like literally the temperature had dropped all the way into the 70s. Like it was crazy. Like it dropped 20 degrees just within like an hour, and then you could see the tornado way off in the distance though. So like it was like in the next town over, so it never actually got to our town. But when we were driving home, there was like literally like softball size hail coming down on our windshield. We were like legit scared, just trying to make it back to our apartment. So it was kind of crazy. But I'm not a huge fan of this Twisters movie. I mean, I think that's fine. I mean, I don't know, like the country. Music, they're not even using good country music, they're just using random weird country music. I don't know. Well, I'm not a big country fan either, so that doesn't help. But the One Ultimatum's awesome. It's really, really good. I really like David Strathern in it. I think he's really good, and just kind of when he like confronts Matt Damon and all that stuff, or like when like Matt Damon, like they're like tracking him, but then he ends up in his office or whatever, and like they're like whoa, how the hell did he find him? Like where we are, all that stuff. So yeah, I'll go with the Bourne Ultimatum.
All right. Okay. All right. Moving on down. Got a few more on this side, and we're almost done. Passengers and Rush Hour 3.
Oh God.
Oh shit!
Oh god.
Ugh.
Ooh.
I
Oh
don't hate
man.
All right. So Rush Hour 3 stinks, and Passengers is creepy. All right. So which one are we voting for?
Oh my God.
And barely has any action. So what are we voting for here?
Oh,
Are you gonna? Do you want to
Hand
just do a
vote.
hand?
Do a hand-
Hand vote. Passengers, raise your hand.
Nope.
Just because it's less of an
Not
action
too much.
movie, even though I like Passengers better. I mean, Rush Hour's got the
Passengers,
Rush Hour 3.
Rush Hour
Raise your
3.
hand.
oh, I guess. Well,
Okay, fine.
can I do a sideways one like this? Just because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
want to raise my
Look,
hand.
Yeah,
look,
right.
Hey, look, take comfort in knowing it's whatever loses to Bourne Ultimatum, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
It's
like,
fine. Look, it's gonna lose to Bourne Ultimatum. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
what is Max von Sydow doing in Rush Hour 3 though? What's he doing in there?
That
Yeah.
movie's just,
And
it's
also,
such a step down from 1 and 2. It just is. It's
Yeah.
weird.
It's
I don't know.
weird.
Passengers, you could only say that action, and there's like an explosion where like a little.
Yeah, they go to fix
Well,
something in space, and that's like it. That's the only action.
Yeah.
But I guess it's
Yeah.
classified, a little bit of that. So space action.
Yeah.
All right. Got Constantine and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh.
So a
Alright.
different type of comic book battle. But Zach,
Yeah.
what you got?
Yeah, so this is interesting. I'm not as big of a fan of Into the Spider-Verse as Across the Spider-Verse, just because I think that there's just some issues with. I feel like the music and the animation kind of take the front seat over like the story, in my opinion. And I feel like the other characters get more love than Miles, and he's the main character. And I saw Constantine for the first time last year, and I enjoyed it. So I'm going to give the love to Constantine.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
Her name is Constantine. John Constantine, asshole.
Asshole. Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah. Sounds good. Wolf.
Yeah, I agree that I do like Across the Spider-Verse more. I think the animation of that movie is stunning. I think it's like the way they combine all these different animations in there is just absolutely glorious. But I still really like Into the Spider-Verse a lot. It is an excellent animated film. Constantine, really fun Keanu Reeves film that I think is probably one of his best that he's done. And I heard he wants to come back for a sequel. I don't know if they're doing a sequel, but I heard he definitely wants to come back for a sequel. So
I think it's happening.
hopefully,
I'm pretty sure that it's confirmed. I think, but I don't know.
yeah, hopefully we can get that because I
Yeah.
would be down if you bring back Spears from Air. Like, yeah, that'd be great. So for me, I am gonna give this one to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Though it has some really great action, and also because Spider-Man 2 didn't make the list, I feel like a Spider-Man movie should be on here. So the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Austin.
I mean, I'll make it short and sweet. You guys know Into the Spider-Verse gives me motion sickness, and Constantine doesn't. And I love Constantine. and I just picked up my 4K of Constantine, so I love this movie. Yeah, Constantine.
Yeah. I'm really lucky that I don't really get motion sickness like on like car rides, roller coasters, like boats, like, and I don't get it watching this stuff. So I consider myself lucky because not everyone's like that. People experience that, and yeah, the movie's really good. I think it's fun. I think it's a cool way to show the character Miles Morales. I think that like making it Miles Morales makes this movie that much better for me. And they can really do some stuff with like the urban landscape and like I don't know, just the way that he kind of swings around and that kind of stuff is pretty cool. But I mean, Constantine rules. Constantine's so good. I used to have a show on here on the early days of this channel called Blind Spots. There's a scene of just Peter Stormare from Constantine just lighting up a cigarette, but he looks like really badass doing it. So I just put it in the the intro for that. And yeah, kind of Reeves is great as Constantine. I mean, you could bring back Rachel Weisz, and then probably Tilda Swinton. You can't bring back Shia LaBeouf if you've seen the movie, but you can bring back the others. Yeah, I'll give it to Constantine, I think. So, but Ross, what do you say?
I'm gonna go with Across the Spider-Verse. It's still, you know, like it's probably one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, but like Peter Stormare as the devil was cool in Constantine. So yeah, but Spider-Verse is amazing. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Constantine's going to take this one. Okay. There we go. All right. And we got, I think it's the last one on this side, Deja Vu and Greyhound, the Apple TV movie. So we have the other Tom Hanks like COVID movie, which is
these are definitely two movies.
Oh,
they're two movies that exist.
Yeah, I think
more action. I mean, hey, both great actors though.
Yeah, they're both great actors.
Nick, we'll make it quick. Nick.
Damn, I might have to go back on my Tom Hanks praise. Because I've seen the trailer for both of these movies. I think the Deja Vu was just a little bit better, so Deja Vu.
Yeah. Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah, so Austin, I kind of agree with you. So as a TV guy, I can tell you Apple TV Plus, amazing for TV shows. Like they have incredible TV shows on there, but I 100% agree that Apple TV Plus is where movies go to die. Because unless you're like a Scorsese, like who gives us like Killers of the Flower Moon, like,
or if it looks like at least Formula One's going to get a shot this year, you know, with the Brad Pitt thing. But yeah, everything else they just like Coda, throw on Apple and forgot about immediately.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't mind the Gorge. I think that was Apple, right?
I'm glad you didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of, okay, but yeah, Greyhound is another Apple TV Plus movie that just was not good. Luckily I got to see it for free because like when I got like my Film Independent membership that year, they were like, here, because it's COVID, here's a free membership to Apple TV Plus for like a whole year. So I had it for like a whole year for free, and so I got to see it for free. But it was like, even free, I was like, I wasted my time on this. This is not good. Yeah, it was. I just did not enjoy it. Deja Vu, both boat movies in a way too, because Deja Vu has a scene of like a boat too. That's like really, that's interesting. But yeah, Denzel, one of if not the greatest actor ever. He's just so good. And this movie I don't actually hate. I think this movie is like okay. You know, I think it's fine for what it is. I think he definitely saves it for sure. So because of that, I will go Deja Vu.
Yeah. Austin.
I'm gonna go with Deja Vu. I never saw Greyhound. That's one of my blind spots in this because I don't have Apple TV, so it's like whatever. You know, and Deja Vu is at least Tony Scott, and I haven't seen it in a long time, but I'd be willing to go back to. I do remember it having a good chase scene, so I'll go with Deja Vu. Jordan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Apple TV is like the number one streaming service. I hear people say that. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have Apple TV, so a lot of people aren't subscribing. I don't know, but I definitely recommend it for the TV stuff. Yeah, you're right, Wolf, on the TV part of it. But yeah, I think these movies are just both okay. I think Greyhound is kind of like very just mediocre, but it's Tom Hanks and his son Chet Hanks. They're both in it. So, but I think Chet is just some soldier that's like
Chet, the weirdo that on Twitter.
Yeah, he's the weirdo guy that just like freaks out and that is like tattooed up and acts like a gangster or whatever.
Yeah. He's not Colin Hanks, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. He's definitely like was you'd call the black sheep of the family, probably. Yeah. But
he's like a wannabe rapper and shit or something.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, go look it up. It's weird.
Like definitely it looks like I don't know, like a Pete Holmes type, but with a gangster attitude. I don't know, it's weird, but and Deja Vu, I think that it's like good at least, like it's like dealing with I think it's a little bit of time travel. I'm like pretty sure
it is, yeah.
like a day or two or something like
yeah,
that.
it's been a while.
Yeah, and it's got Jim Caviezel in there too. I think doing like a little bit of the like another time travel, almost like adjacent type of movie because he did the Frequency, which is like I consider time travel adjacent. But yeah, I think that it's all right because out of these two, I'd rather watch Deja Vu. So I'll vote Deja Vu.
Chet Hayes is his rapper name, so look that
Yeah,
up.
Chet Hayes. Yeah,
Hayes.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't make that up. I knew I remember
man.
seeing that somewhere.
But go watch his rants on like COVID vaccines too. He'll be like telling everyone to get vaxxed up and do it to help stop the spread. And they'll be like, psych, fuck that shit. No COVID vaccine for me. Screw you. Or like whatever. It's like weird. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's a
okay.
lunatic.
What the hell?
But
Jesus.
Ross,
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Deja Vu. It's been a while since I've seen it, but and then like I remember, like from like 2020 to 2021, Tom Hanks was the king of Apple movies because he also did that one with like him and the robot. So yeah, but I'm gonna
Oh
go,
God, I
Deja Vu.
forgot that one even existed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I think Deja Vu is good. I'm actually going to give my lone vote to Greyhound because I just looked at my review for it and I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was the terminology because I didn't understand what the heck they were talking about the entire movie. But I really liked what I saw, so I'm going to say Greyhound, but I have no problem with Deja Vu going forward.
Yeah.
all right,
Fair
Deja
enough.
Vu goes forward. All right, we're done with that side, so let's keep up the pace for the other side.
right.
Jordan just missed a few. I'll show you what you with John Wick over John Wick 3. But that was a close one. That
That's
was very, very,
debatable,
it was very, very close. So
Yeah.
everybody had their reasons. Rogue Nation over The Island.
Yeah. That's good.
We had John Wick 4 over Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drive over Jumper.
Oh yeah, easy.
Rogue One over 21 Jump Street. We all just felt it was more of an
Huh?
action movie because 21 Jump Street
Yeah.
is more comedy. So
Sure.
that's what we went with. Creed over Shazam. And No Time to Die over Furious 7 is where we
Yeah.
got that one. So there you go. All right.
Sure.
Scooting on over, we've got
Nothing too egregious.
Deadpool 2 and Pain and Gain. Is our next matchup. So a little more Michael Bay and a little more comic book. Wolf, what you got?
Yeah, so Pain and Gain is another Michael Bay that I don't think is all that bad actually. I think the chemistry between Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson is actually pretty good here, and they're pretty fun. I think some of the action is done pretty well. It's one of his better kind of recent films for sure. But Deadpool 2 is just it's Deadpool. It's hilarious, but then also it's just a complete blast in terms of action. Like one of the funniest action sequences, but also best action sequences is when the whole like X Factor starts like, or X Force starts like dying off one by one, and it's just like, oh my god. And that is an action scene, but it was really fun. And then there's there's other really fun action scenes like the Juggernaut and a few other stuff. So the prison action scenes are really fun. So I'm gonna give it to Deadpool 2, but Pain and Gain is a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, no, I'll pretty easily go Deadpool 2 for the action, of this tournament. But I do think Pain and Gain is at least an interesting swing for Michael Bay. And again, I think he was making a few more interesting movies. I didn't mind his non-Transformer stuff around this time. The Island, Pain and Gain, 13 Hours. He made some decent stuff outside of the Transformers movies. So I at least appreciate that. But I'll go Deadpool 2. Jordan?
Yeah. Pain and Gain was actually a pretty decent, one of the better Michael Bay movies because Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson just being these like roided up kind of guys. It's been quite a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember the exact like premise what they're like trying to do though. It might be some kind of heist maybe, but I can't remember totally. And then I remember Anthony Mackie's in there, and then Tony Shalhoub plays like the villain in it, but and I think maybe Ed Harris to a degree, but But Deadpool 2 is just a blast. Like I actually prefer it over the Deadpool 1 because you throw in Cable, which is like, if you know the comics, they're like intertwined, interconnected characters. Deadpool and Cable. Then you got Zazie Beetz in there being dominant, which I don't know where she went for the third movie. She just like vanished. That was weird. But
she was there.
yeah, I think she shows up at like a party or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
she's at the beginning. She's not in the rest of the movie.
yeah, right. And then I think that the whole team dies except for like Zazie Beetz and Peter. And you get some fun little cameos in there. And they even made a Christmas cut with Fred Savage. That was kind of interesting. I don't know why they really needed to, but they did a PG-13 version, which is kind of unnecessary, but it's kind of like a fun little like thing just to watch once, maybe. I'll probably go to the theatrical over it, but yeah. So I'll go for Deadpool 2. But Ross,
I'm gonna go with Deadpool 2. I don't know what happened to Josh Brolin in the third one either. But yeah, but like Pain and Gain is like my friend, he calls it the best modern day dark Three Stooges movie ever. So yeah.
I think Josh Brolin, he's like one of those characters that like Cable. He just like just fades in and out. Like he's a time traveler. So he's here and then he's not. but
yeah, I'm gonna go with Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2, I loved it more than the first. So yeah.
Yep. Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pain and Gain because I was not a fan at all of Deadpool 2. I actually thought it was a big step down from the first one. There wasn't much that I enjoyed. And especially, I don't know the main kid's name, the one that they're trying to rescue, but he was so annoying and he definitely was the worst part of the movie for me. And so because of all that, I'm going to go with Pain and Gain.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
So I watched the Deadpool trilogy when Deadpool and Wolverine came to Disney Plus, and while I think that Deadpool 2 isn't as good of a film as the first Deadpool movie, I do think that the action in it is legitimately great. I think that the car chase scene in that movie is just among one of the best things ever, honestly. So it is really good, solid. Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, Deadpool 2. All right, takes this one. All right, going down to, we got Free Guy. So we get more Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the
Ooh.
Sith. All right, so me first. Yeah, Free Guy's okay. I think it doesn't age very well. I got everything I needed to get to it out the first time. It's fine. A few cameos here and there, but Episode 3 is my favorite of the prequels, and I think the action in that movie is actually really great. I think the opening space battle is really good. Obviously, the Mustafar like lightsaber duel is fan freaking tastic. I think there's some legitimately like great action and good stuff, and it's coming back to theaters. I think in May, and I'm gonna go watch it. So that's pretty cool for the 20th anniversary. So I'm gonna go check it out. So I'll go Episode 3. I really like it.
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all can even see this. If I can get the right camera angle. But I threw out my old mouse pad and I got this like Star Warsy kind of like this big giant thing here. So yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So
wow.
yeah, because like if you go into Amazon, they have all these like super huge mouse pads. They got like a TMNT one. They got like Marvel, Star Wars. They got a bunch of like movie ones that are cool. So, so I definitely got to go Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Like if you look over my room, there's something representing every movie in this room or in the Star Wars universe, except for Solo and the last two of the sequel, because those are the ones I don't like so much. I think Solo is fine, but for the last two of the sequel, I do not like. And also Episode 2, but I do have a little Episode 2 representation in here. but Revenge of the Sith probably is my third favorite after Return of the Jedi and Rogue One. So, but I think that that's really cool. Just seeing Anakin just like really become Darth Vader, and even though there's still some weird stuff like the Natalie Portman of it all, like you're breaking my heart, Anakin, or like just the way that some of them are like the lines.
What you mean? And Bush Jordan?
Yeah, that also, yeah,
That also, yes.
yeah. But I mean, and like I still think I agree with Sam Jackson that Mace Windu is still alive somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, this movie is probably the best of the prequels. So I'll go with Revenge of the Sith. And Free Guys is good for like a one-time watch. Yeah, I don't need to see it again. But Ross.
Okay, I'm gonna go with like Revenge of the Sith. Like it's my favorite out of the prequels, and then like I will argue too is that one scene might be one of the best scenes in the whole series. Is the whole not from a Jedi scene. That scene is amazing inside the Opera House. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah, okay,
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So seen both of them. I kind of agree that Free Guy is probably a one-time watch. It has some good action in it, and while I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, even though I've seen all of them, I did enjoy Episode 3, so I'm going to go with Episode 3.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
Completely agree with Pez on this. I think Revenge of the Sith has really just solid action sequences all the way through. Like when they get to the lightsaber duels near the end, that is like where the movie really picks up and kind of ramps up the tension, and it just is ultimately amazing to watch. And even that scene that you were talking about, like right before, I love everything about that. As soon as Padme lands on Mustafar to talk to Anakin, everything from that point forward is just great.
Yeah, sounds good. Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah, so I have an interesting relationship with Revenge of the Sith. First off, I'm an old man, right? When this was the first Star Wars movie I ever got to see in theaters, when it was released, I was old enough where my parents brought me, and I was already a Star Wars fan, and I got to see all the people dressed up as like Darth Vader and all that stuff, and that was really fun. So yeah, I did get that childhood experience, and I loved it growing up as a child. Then I revisited as like a young adult. I caught a lot of the problems I have with with the rest of the prequels. But then it's weird. It's like each time I watch it, I love it more because it's one of those things where I initially was like, okay, this is like a 6 out of 10. Then I would rewatch it. I'm like, okay, this is like a 6.5 out of 10. Then I'd rewatch it. I'm like, okay, this is like a 7 out of 10. Then I'd rewatch it. I'm like, okay, this is like a 7.5 out of 10 kind of film. And then I'm like, now it's like maybe like an 8 for me. Like I actually really enjoy Revenge of the Sith. I still have those issues with it. And there is definitely some execution, good ideas that's in there, but some poorly done execution from Lucas that I feel like could have been done a bit better. But yeah, that really emotional lightsaber fight that you get there at the end is just so powerful. And then the music in this might be my favorite Star Wars score. Like as far as soundtracks go, it might be my favorite score of the franchise. Like it's so good. And yeah, I thought this was a very groundbreaking CGI for the time as well. So Free Guy, while it's fun, it's nothing that memorable really. So I am going to go with Revenge of the Sith. So
yeah. But the more cheesy lines, the like, no, it's because I'm so in love with you, and then like Anakin and Padme just going back and forth. I'm so beautiful. No, it's because I'm so in love with you. Yeah.
Avengers: Age of Ultron and John Carter.
Oh wow.
John Carter stinks.
That's it. Okay. sorry, I know it's not my turn,
I
but
love
I just
John
want to say
Carter.
something though. Like he gets a bad rap, Taylor Kitsch, because if you watch Friday Night Lights, he's actually a really good actor.
Oh yeah. But who's up first? Yes, one's really interesting because I actually love John Carter. I don't just like it; I love it. This movie's in my 128. Like I like it that much. I think it's just like so good because I mean they just mismarketed it. I just feel like they just really mismarketed it. They should have called it John Carter of Mars. And there's just like cool Western stuff at the beginning. He's going through portals, and then he falls in love with this girl on Mars, and then he has to go back, but he can't get back to the girl that he loves. So he's like, for 10 bitter years, I searched for a way to get back to her. And like I'll like always like throw that line out to people, but like, yeah, it's been 10 bitter years since I've been able to do like whatever, you know. And so yeah, and like I just have a great time with it. And Avengers: Age of Ultron, I like the Ultron stuff, and I like some of the like dialogue's actually not that bad actually when they're like talking about who's worthy to pick up Thor's hammer, and they're all trying to do it, and then so there is some like pretty legit dialogue, but in the end it just turns into a bunch of aliens coming through a portal again, and it's just like doesn't do a lot for me. They kind of wasted Quicksilver in this movie. Like he should have been more than what he was, but so you know what? Just because it's not going up against something that I love that much, so I'll go with John Carter actually. Yeah.
You know, as I said before, like Taylor Kitsch. Okay, I don't love John Carter, but Taylor Kitsch, who like got this bad rap because like he did this and then Battleship basically back to back. But if you watch Friday Night Lights, him and Tim Riggins is really good. But I actually just rewatched Age of Ultron with my girlfriend, and then like it actually gets better every single time I watch it. Like, and then like I could watch a whole movie of the party scene, you know, like and plus like it's great actually foreshadowing, you know, and setup for Endgame. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah, and like people forget that like John Carter has like Willem Dafoe and like Bryan Cranston and like these other people in there. So Mark Strong, you know. So yeah, but Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so John Carter is on a list to see just because I've heard so much about it that I want to check it out, but I haven't seen it yet. I actually feel like Age of Ultron does not get talked about a lot compared to the other, like even Avengers movies or just MCU in general, and I think it's a little underrated. So I'm gonna go with Age of Ultron.
Yeah, well, they go to Sokovia or whatever it is. But Nick, what do you say?
My favorite tidbit when it comes to these two movies or movie Jason is that the first Marvel's Avengers film made so much money for Disney that it paid for John Carter. I just think that's really funny. And I do think that Age of Ultron, honestly, the movie is really good on replay. I wasn't a big fan of it coming out of the theater, but I rewatched it semi-recently a few years ago after WandaVision, and I didn't find myself being as bothered with the James Spader Ultron stuff as I was the first time. So I actually do think it gets better the more you actually take a look at it. So I'm going to go with Age of Ultron.
There are no strings on me. Wolf.
Yeah. So Avengers: Age of Ultron was actually really kind of underrated in a sense of I feel like too many people kind of crap on the movie. I think it's actually pretty solid. There is some stuff in there that isn't all that great, but yeah, I agree. All the Ultron stuff is really good. John Carter, I actually find really underrated. Now, to be fair, this is another one I have not seen in a very, very, repeat, another very long time. I gotta rewatch this again. Like it's been
since theaters probably.
Yeah, like I think since theaters, honestly. Like it was at like a local dollar theater when it came out that I saw it at, and I watched it there, and then I haven't seen it since. But I remember really loving it, like when I saw it that first time. So, but then yeah, I heard through the years that it like bombed and that no one went to go see it, and it's just they never made a sequel. And yeah, I really, it's really really unfortunate because I feel like this had so much potential. So I'm gonna show some love to John Carter to see where it goes.
Mhm.
It flopped hard. It flopped.
But
hard.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But one of these days, I want to try to dig out because it's like old and pretty much worn out, so I don't wear it anymore. But I had an Age of Ultron shirt that had Pinocchio with like Ultron's face saying "There are no strings on me." That was a fun shirt. But Austin, what do you think?
No, this is easy for me. I remember seeing John Carter in the theater and just being bored out of my skull. I thought that movie was awful, awful. And yeah, I was with a buddy of mine, and we were just bored out of our minds. And we were in an IMAX theater, and I damn near fell asleep. It was bad. It was way too long. And yeah, Age of Ultron. I rewatched it for a Battleground match actually, and yeah, that movie has a lot of foreshadowing to like Infinity War and Endgame, like way more than you think. You go back and watch it. It's really really good and well written. So I actually think it holds up pretty well on rewatch. I'm gonna go Age of Ultron. So,
but I do remember the score from John Carter by Michael Giacchino. I can even like have it playing in my own head right now. I'm like that was a pretty.
I just looked it up too. John Carter's budget was $263 to $350, and then his total box office was $284.
Yikes!
Yeah. Well, at least it went 284. That's more than a lot of movies do these days.
All right, another MCU. We got Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther. Ross.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Thor Ragnarok. I think it's a better movie than like Black Panther. Like Black Panther was good, but like I remember, like I just rewatched Thor Love and Thunder, and then Thor Ragnarok, and like I was cracking up still. Like all the jokes still hit. Like, and my favorite joke though is when like Korg goes like like I tried to set up this revolution, but I didn't bring enough pamphlets.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I'm gonna go with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Yeah. Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I think I like Black Panther, but I had more fun and I enjoyed the action more in Thor Ragnarok. So Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
So Thor Ragnarok was the last Thor movie that I saw in theaters, and it was definitely the first time that I started noticing a little bit of cracks as far as like this in terms of those movies, because I do really like the first one, and I think that Dark World is great on rewatch. And while I wasn't the biggest fan of Black Panther, I do think it's a little bit overrated because I do think that the character's actually treated better in Civil War. I do think that Black Panther is a better movie than Thor Ragnarok. I just think it had a stronger story for me. So Black Panther.
Yeah. Wolf, what do you say?
I just have an issue with the fact that Black Panther is now going to be the first comic book movie of all time, like to be nominated for Best Picture. When it's like there's been so many other ones like The Dark Knight before it, Logan.
Yeah.
Other ones like that. That I feel like were much more worthy. Although I do feel like Dark Knight paved the way because the Academy even said after The Dark Knight came out, they regretted not nominating it for Best Picture. That because of that, the following year they started doing the 8 or more nominees for Best Picture just so they could start fitting in more movies like that. So yeah. But Black Panther's good. It's just not really Oscar worthy at all, in my opinion. Thor Ragnarok, another film that's not Oscar worthy either by any means, but still really fun one with my favorite actress, Cate Blanchett, giving a really great performance as Helena. I think the music in here is awesome with like the immigrant song, what they do here. I think the action's really fun. They set up some interesting stuff with Hulk, but it kind of goes nowhere later. So, But I love the Loki dynamic. Anytime you have Loki on screen, I'm always going to be there for it. So, I think I'll go lean Thor Ragnarok here. This one.
Yeah, Austin.
Oh, come on. You know I'd hate Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder. We suck. Those movies are
Thank
shit. I
God.
said they were shit when they came out. They're awful. It has awful Taika Waititi humor in that shit. Just
Yeah, it
awful,
does.
awful, cringy shit. Cringe comedy. And it started what I like to call the Taika effect, which is where we had this cringy comedy in every MCU movie, like going forward, and it's terrible.
Wow.
I think it's one of the downfalls of the MCU is part of it. So, no, I don't like Thor Ragnarok. He's a fucking clown in that movie, and it's stupid. Yeah, I don't love Black Panther either, but it's a better movie than Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. And we still
Yeah,
got the
like-
what are those in Black Panther?
God,
Yeah,
yeah.
Again, that came after Ragnarok, so we have to do stupid humor in every scene. It's so bad.
I saw this like funny meme though about Thor Ragnarok where they say Odin has 3 kids, 2 of them have jet black hair, 1 of them's blonde. Are you sure that Loki's the one that's adopted?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, so I just had to bring up my favorite. Well, one of my favorite pop figures, the Gladiator Hulk. I think that's a pretty cool looking pop figure. But I actually kind of like it. I mean, some of it got like overplayed. Like, hey, I know that guy. He's a friend from work or whatever. Like, and like, but if they wouldn't have just overplayed some of it, I mean, it probably would have worked a little more for me. But I really do like Thor Ragnarok. I like all the kind of like making it seem a little more sci-fi and kind of like they're going on like a space adventure with, and like you get like Loki kind of being on the team just a little bit. Like he doesn't really like want to be a good guy, but he just kind of has to be because it's about saving what's their like saving Asgard and all that the Asgardians. But that's the thing though, like this is where you see Asgard get destroyed. This is where you see Odin die. This is where you see like a lot of like pretty like kind of crucial things that like all defend like that kind of stuff.
Still making jokes in the middle of it blowing up.
Yeah.
That's what I hate.
Yeah, it was
because they
bad.
want to make it.
We'll rebuild.
Makes
Okay,
it-
maybe not. Like what the fuck? What?
What makes
Yeah.
it more
Yeah.
for me? It makes it a little more entertaining because it's not just so dead serious and like you're just like dark and like gloomy and stuff. They're kind of adding some color to it.
But to be fair, look at Black Panther. I mean, it's not like
I don't mind. Okay,
it's like
I don't mind the like if they're joking around the serious stuff, just as long as they tie it into the serious moon that's going on. That way, it makes more sense to me.
But yeah, because people process grief and tragedy differently. I don't know. They just made a lot of jokes and stuff, and like I like that like Mark Ruffalo's the Hulk's in there. I thought Carl Urban's character is fun. Jeff Goldblum's having a fun time in there, you know. So I think that it is good. I kind of like it more than Black Panther, but I do really like, especially the character of Black Panther. Like, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, because he was such an amazing actor, just taken way too soon. So yeah, but I'll give the side edge to Thor Ragnarok.
Wolf's friend, though, you know, like Wolf's friend actually had the crazy take about Black Panther, though. He says that final fight, the CGI actually looked good.
Not so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, but
I will say that one of my pros for Avengers Infinity War is the fact that it undoes a lot of the stuff that Ragnarok does.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
Actually,
Yeah.
Thor series a little bit again. Yeah, it's good.
But also,
Yeah.
Thor gets an eye patch for some reason. He loses his hammer and like gets the Stormbreaker or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's good shit. It's badass.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it has the most badass Thor moment in all the movies. The Bring Me Thanos shit. It's fucking awesome. It's great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We got the Nice Guys and we got Ghost Protocol.
Ooh.
All right. So does anybody think the Nice Guys action is better than Ghost Protocol's action?
No.
The Nice Guys is a better movie than
I disagree with that,
in my opinion.
Yeah,
but I think that the action of Ghost Protocol is better.
But I think that they're both great. But yeah, Ghost Protocol is my favorite Mission
I
Impossible
think
movie.
Nice Guys would be
Number one.
better off in a comedy tournament. Like, I
Probably,
would
yeah.
there, but I just
It-
mean like there's some action. What's some of the action? Like a few very brief, pew pews back and forth.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
I mean,
not
you get your classic Russell Crowe punch people in the face.
Yeah.
He
Breaking bones and
takes
stuff.
Ryan Gosling's arm in the movie.
Yeah.
So we voting for Ghost Protocol on this one. I'm just gonna say
yeah.
cool.
You can take
Ghost
it.
Protocol.
Sure.
I mean,
Alright,
car chases, climbing up the Burj Khalifa. There's a lot of
yeah, that's good shit.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then how does the bad guy die in that car factory, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the great
Yeah.
car thing. All right, got The Other Guys, another kind of action comedy, and The Fall Guy. So The Other Guys and The Fall Guy.
Yeah, guy. Yeah, right.
That's our guy matchup. What, Zach?
This is actually easy for me. I think The Other Guys is okay. It's not anything noteworthy to me. I didn't see The Fall Guy until earlier this year, but if I had seen it last year, it actually would have been my top movie of last year. I really enjoyed it. So The Fall Guy easily.
Okay.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
I don't like the Other Guys at all as a movie. I do think it's like in that realm of Will Ferrell movies where he's just like aggressively unfunny in that movie. So Fall Guy.
Yeah. Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah. So The Other Guys. All right. So this is an interesting one for me because The Other Guys is again kind of the 21 Jump Street situation where it's a really funny movie with a few fun action sequences in here, but I don't really think of it as an action movie. I think it's better suited in a comedy tournament personally. So if we do like a comedy mystery tournament or something, I think that's where The Other Guys definitely belongs more. The Fall Guy, it actually does, I feel like, the action better than it does the comedy, in my opinion. I have issues with some of the comedy jokes in there, but the action sequences in there are really fun. I feel like it pays homage to stunt people really, really well. And, we need a stunt category at the Oscars, damn it. So, yeah, I'll do the Fall Guy. So, yeah.
Yeah. Austin, what do you
I'll
say?
probably go The Fall Guy just because I agree The Other Guys is way more of a comedy, but it does have some decent action. I like the kind of buddy parody action with The Rock and Sam Jackson at the beginning of that movie. I think that's stuff fun.
Aim for the bushes.
Yeah, aim for the bushes.
Yeah.
That was fun. So I appreciate that aspect of it and how it literally falls flat on their face. It's pretty great. I didn't love The Fall Guy as much as everybody else, but there's some decent action in it, so I'll go with it for now.
Yeah, so I'm just probably more of a Ryan Gosling fan than anything. Why I really love the Fall Guy. I think he's great. I think he's funny and charming. Like if I had like a crush, which I don't really, but if I did, it'd probably be Ryan Gosling, but the Other Guys is fine, but The Fall Guys, I had it in my top 12 of the year last year, but then over time it just started moving down and down and down as the year went on. There's just better stuff coming out, but like even still, that's not a huge knock on it. I still think it's fun. I still saw it twice in theaters at least, and yeah, I thought that it was great, and I thought he had good chemistry with Emily Blunt and like the like homage to the stunt people who do all the action. So I figure it's probably more of an action movie. So I'll go with The Fall Guy. Ross.
I'm gonna go with The Fall Guy only because it's more action, but The Fall Guy was like 30 minutes too long, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Fall Guy, but it was too long. But the other one is more of a comedy, so that's why.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Moving on to. Or did everybody vote? I'm sorry. Did I move on?
Yeah.
too quick? Does that
Yeah.
go? I'm sorry.
I was
Oh,
one
did
of
you?
those. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I was just making sure. I thought
Yeah.
I miscounted.
Yeah.
this again. All right, The Losers and Godzilla -1.
Fuck.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Nick.
damn. So I actually I just watched The Losers. I think like last year. It's okay. I wasn't too terribly impressed with it. I think Godzilla -1 is fucking awesome. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Sounds good. Wolf, what do you say?
Well, I will say that I am here with a bunch of people who are not losers. So you are all in all losers in my book. So because of that, I don't want to give it to losers. Why would I give it to losers when I could give it to Godzilla? Minus a loser. I don't want to get award losers like that. So just minus one more loser in the group. So yeah, I'll say Godzilla -1.
I feel like you're like trying to say I don't care what they say. You guys are not losers.
Exactly.
Like what they say, yeah. But Austin, what do you say?
No, you know me. I'll easily go Godzilla -1 here. Love it. My favorite movie of 2023. And I do think the action when it happens is pretty incredible. The effects are great. And yeah, I saw The Losers once. I have not seen it since I saw it, like maybe back in like 2013 or 14 or something. I rented it. So I mean, I need to rewatch it, but I mean, I also think there's better Chris Evans comic book movies.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Godzilla -1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's your better
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan movies for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, The Losers is kind of fun. Like it's a good team up. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, yeah, Idris Elba, Zoe Saldana, Chris Evans, yeah. But yeah, this movie ain't no Godzilla -1. This movie knocked my socks off. So it's my number 3 movie of 2023, right? Is that when it was out?
Mhm.
And yeah, but the other two were just heavy hitters at John Wick 4 and the Mission Impossible that came out that year. So and yeah, the movie's so good that like even without the action, it's still probably going to be my number 3 of the year. You care about like what's going on. But since this is an action tournament, I do think that the action, like when he ramps up and he just shoots that like the plasma like beam thing, and then on the way that it's done too, you see the destruction that it does, and you see like people just running for their lives and like trying to survive, and then just like seeing how they combat the Godzilla like near the end, the lengths that they go is just really, really good. So I can't wait until they make Godzilla -2 or whatever the sequel is going to be, because I think they are making it. So yeah,
I think they should go backwards one and call it Godzilla Ground Zero.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
good.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
and it's supposed to be he's supposed to introduce another monster in this one. Actually, have like a monster fight, and you can have a Ground Zero battle, and I think that would be pretty dope. So call it Godzilla Ground Zero, and I think that'd be a great title.
Godzilla Ground Zero
Here we
in
go,
New York.
Ghidorah
At
again?
Ground Zero, right in New York City.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
But I think that'd be a
Wow.
pretty dope title, for if they want to go with like a zero thing. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, so let's
pretty
go
cool.
Godzilla -1.
All right, Ross.
Ross. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Godzilla -1. It's my favorite Godzilla movie. So yeah, I'm gonna go with and I prefer Godzilla -1 minus color, but I've seen The Losers that I don't even remember. So I'm gonna go with Godzilla -1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so The Losers was actually going to be one of 2 movies for this tournament that I was going to watch yesterday, and I just never got to it. But Godzilla -1 was also my favorite movie of 2023, and I would have loved it. I don't think it had any chance. I would have loved to see it possibly get into Best Picture or even Best Actor, because I thought though it did really well in those categories as well. But I really loved Godzilla -1, so that gets my vote.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah, but But like I've got all these pop figures. Like I need to get some Godzilla figures because they make some of the best toys too. They're really cool.
Oh, all these. I just won't start grabbing toys. I'll save that for my
Yeah.
Godzilla tournament.
yeah, right.
I have the unopened.
Bitcoin.
I have an unopened in the box Godzilla $100 Godzilla -1 figure. So
Oh,
let's
nice.
put that one.
Well,
Yeah.
for your birthday episode, you can bring out as many Godzilla figures. You can show them all off. You can.
I know. I'll have them right
all
next
that.
to me, and I'll make visual references for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. So that'll
Yeah,
help.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
that'd be
sounds
great.
good.
A little visual aid. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. So we got Aliens and the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Wolf.
I mean, the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 is not a bad movie, but come on, it's going up against Aliens.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the greatest action movies of all time. If you're doing an action tournament, and there's very few things I would say this on. I've never, I've jokingly like walked off the stream and stuff like that when, Unfrosted beat the Brutalists and stuff like that. Like I've done that with Jonathan Caro. There's very, very few things I legitimately would actually hit the leave studio button and full on just leave this stream for. There's very few things I would do that for. But if y'all vote Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 over Aliens,
Oh, come on.
I am just telling you straight up, I'm hitting this leave studio button and I'm not coming back today. Like straight up, I'm not doing that. I can't imagine a world with an action tournament where Aliens doesn't make it through because this is just too.
I almost want to do it just to see if you'll actually do it.
Yeah.
See if you're bullshitting.
Don't tip me, man. But yeah, it is a truly iconic action film, and I mean I know you can't do it, Austin, because this is your favorite movie of all time. So, but yeah, I'll say Aliens gets my vote for sure.
Yeah. Austin.
Well, I'm not going to be that
I wonder.
extreme. I'm not going to be that extreme and say what Wolf said. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, I want to leave the stream this way. But like, I mean, I do think Aliens just has the better action. But I do like the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. It's a movie I've always advocated for. Good 70s movie, good 70s New York movie. Great cast. And yeah, I mean, it's more of like a hostage kind of crime thriller, sort of thing. Not a ton of actual action, but it's still a good movie. I'm not going to disparage it like Wolf did. It's a good movie, and
I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying for an action tournament, like one of those.
No, I would have
yeah.
voted for Aliens anyways because it has better action, but I'm not gonna shit on the movie like you basically did. So I'm still voting Aliens. Jordan.
Yeah, so I watched the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 for this, and that movie's great. Now it wasn't like exactly what I thought it was gonna be though. Like you're expecting like way more action because of like what the like poster says they're gonna kill one person every minute until they get $1 million or whatever, and I won't spoil what actually happens, but it's probably the best Walter Matthau performance I've ever seen. Like he was like just like killing it, especially with the New York accent. He's like just saying, and like some of the lines he delivers, he's like the guy on the other end. I got some kind of English accent, so he might be some kind of fruitcake. We're trying to get some work done, like the way it says work. Like I can't do it. I can't replicate the New York accent, but there's a way that he does it that's just really good. And yeah, so it is really good, and like dark and gritty, but yeah, there's no Aliens. Aliens is an all-timer when it comes to action movies. It's got to be like, I mean, for a lot of people, top 10. So yeah, I'll go with Aliens. But Ross, what do you say?
I do like Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, both versions. The remake's not bad either. I'm just gonna go with Aliens because it has some of the best action. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Aliens.
Yeah. Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 was the other movie I was going to watch yesterday, but I just didn't get to it. But I mean, you're going up against Aliens, which is, it's hard to vote against Aliens. So Aliens is my vote.
Yeah. Nick.
My favorite tidbit about Aliens is that James Cameron said that the reason he made that movie was because he kept a dream journal and would like design xenomorphs after waking up in the middle of the night, which means that Ridley Scott's Alien gave him nightmares, and he made Aliens so that he wouldn't be afraid of them anymore. So, but even outside of that, it's a great movie. Absolutely fantastic, an iconic action film. Probably the second best of Cameron's career. So, Aliens.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to preface this. All right, I really do like taking a panel 1, 2, 3. I do like that. I didn't want to sound like I was fully shitting on the movie. I'm just saying, like, because of the legendary status that Aliens holds in the actual movie. I'm like,
what do you guys feel like about the remake? The remake's not bad, is it?
The remake's fine, but I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters. I'd have to revisit
Yeah,
it.
but
it's fine.
But if you want to learn how to do like a legit New York accent, just listen to Walter Matthau in there. He does it down.
I don't think John Travolta is as good as Robert Shaw in the original one. I'll just put it that way.
No.
But Denzel might be as good as Walter Matthau is. He's very good. So, you know, I think that's comparable. All right, we got Top Gun Maverick and Hellboy 2.
Ooh.
So pretty easy for me. I don't love the Hellboy movies. I do think the sequel is better than the original. I love the character more than I like the movies. You know, the way just Ron Perlman portrays it. But yeah, it ain't Top Gun Maverick, which is my number 1 of 2022. So pretty good on Maverick here. Jordan.
Yeah, it's also our number 1 of 2015, according to our tournament.
It sure is.
Yep. Yeah, right. But just because the way that the holdovers went. But yeah, Hellboy 2 is probably my favorite of the Hellboy series. The comic books are really good. I've read a handful of the comic books, and I really like Hellboy, like Abe Sapien. I like the girl. I can't remember what the character is, but yeah, but Top Gun Maverick, it's just like just takes you on like a thrill ride. And I saw Top Gun Maverick in 4DX, so it was really awesome. And like not only can you like feel like the force when those planes take off, you can feel the like gun. You can even smell. They pump in smells for like the exhaust and all that stuff, and like you just feel like you're right there in the cockpit with them, just about. But so yeah, I'll go Top Gun Maverick. But Ross, what do you say?
I'm gonna go with Top Gun Maverick, but I do gotta like throw Hellboy some love. Is because if it's not for the Hellboy movies and Beauty and the Beast, Ron Perlman like wouldn't have done my favorite TV show of all time. One of my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time, Sons of Anarchy, because like he says the only reason that like he did Sons of Anarchy was like he says I didn't have to put on a fucking costume.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Top Gun Maverick though.
But he has just like the look of someone who should be playing Hellboy. I don't know why. He just fits it.
But his part in Don't Look Up gave me the biggest laugh. One of the biggest laughs of 2021 is not like when he steps outside in his robe and he starts taking his gun and he starts shooting at the spaceship.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. But Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I've only seen the first Hellboy movie of all of the franchise, so I haven't gotten around to the second one. But I have seen Top Gun Maverick, and I think it's amazing. So Top Gun Maverick.
Let's say still watch Hellboy 2 and then stop there. You don't need to watch any more.
You don't know watch any of the other Hellboy movies. You're good.
That looks like ass.
That movie does not exist.
Yeah, that movie's weird.
And like I haven't listened to a podcast that has like these movies. Like that movie just doesn't exist. Like it like exists, but it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like nobody just came and went like a fucking fart in the wind as the show.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you know, just fucking nobody cares. But Nick,
yep.
So I have a pretty sizable Tom Cruise blind spot. I've only seen 4 Tom Cruise movies, and 3. It was the first 3 Mission Impossible movies and Jerry Maguire. And the reason is because I just can't. The guy is so much of a movie star in my head. I can't suspend my disbelief as like he's an actual character. Probably should remedy that at some point. So I've not seen Top Gun Maverick, but I have seen Hellboy 2. I do really like it a lot. It's got a lot of that Del Toro influence in it that I really enjoy. So Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
Yeah. This is a fun like Reddit thread I was just looking at, like movies that you forgot even existed that just came and went like that. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, like you can go check that out. Like, but they also have some like fun like Mandela effect things. Like people thought Sinbad was a genie in a movie, but that was actually Shaq, or like those kind of things. But yeah, there's some fun stuff.
I'm completely convinced that those people don't understand the difference between black people. But that's my own thing. Yeah,
probably,
that was the Shaq movie, and you just thought that was because you just don't know the difference. But all right,
yeah, right.
I still remember in the Ghostbusters recast, JTE put Sinbad.
I know. I'm like, what?
Amazing. Yeah. I think it was like the Bill Murray character.
Yeah, in the Bill Murray role, I was like, what?
Bill Murray.
Wait, what? So funny.
Yeah, but yeah. Well,
yeah. So this is interesting for me because Top Gun Maverick, I saw like 3 times in theaters. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it was quite, in my opinion, like it started to become just slightly overrated. Like I still really enjoyed it, but slightly overrated because I was like, okay, it's not like a best picture kind of film, in my opinion. But it was still at least really, really good. I still quite enjoyed it. And yeah, the 40X experience of it all was just exceptional. I completely agree. I remember coming out of the 40X theater, I like walked into the bathroom, thought I was going to vomit. I didn't, but I sat there fully at the toilet for like 30 seconds. It was like worth it. I was like so worried I was going to vomit because it was just like, but I was also like, this was such a worthy experience of this, and that's why I'm making F1 be my 40X movie this year because I'm like, if Joseph Kosinski did that good with Top Gun Maverick, like I'm sure with the way the racing scenes are going to go, like that's going to be exceptional 40X. So,
well, after that, the Top Gun 40X, I had to go in and like readjust my hair. I'm like, whoa! I feel like my hair got like blown back. Like hairstyle. Yeah.
Greatest 40X experience ever. But I actually would have gone Hellboy 2: The Golden Army because I think that it's a really strong sequel and even better sequel than the original. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Austin. Oh wait.
No, I went first. All right. The Man with the Golden Gun and Tron Legacy. Okay, Jordan.
Interesting. Yeah, this one's interesting because I watched The Man with the Golden Gun for the first time for this, and that movie's fun though. Like, because he's like, going over to like I think Thailand or something like that, and he's like learning kung fu. He fights Knick Knack, the little tiny guy, and like and then the guy that has this really intimidating gun and one shot kill. Excuse me, and yeah, like I just think that's one of the more fun Roger Moore James Bond movies. But I mean, to me though, like I thought Tron was phenomenal. I mean, the writing kind of like it wasn't like the greatest, so I think that it kind of suffered from that. But the visual effects, to me, I really love the look and the feel of it. Some people may complain that they're not doing it like well enough, but I mean, for me, it really worked. I love the like disc battles and the stuff on the bikes and like the going through the like digital city and all that stuff, and like even the de-aging stuff for I don't know why I'm like spacing on his name, freaking the main guy in it,
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges. There you go. Sorry. Yeah, the de-aging stuff. Like he almost feels like a totally separate character, which he is, but like it almost doesn't even look like Jeff Bridges like at all. That they really some like change there, And then, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to what they do in the next one because I guess they're supposedly coming into the real world, and so we'll see how that goes. And the soundtrack's great. Like I think Daft Punk it does a great job, and you can't get Daft Punk. You get Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. You get Nine Inch Nails to do it, and I think it's still going to be great. So yeah, I'll go Tron Legacy.
Just a time note. We're still in the first half of this. We got to pick up the pace, guys. We got to go. We got to move. It's like almost midnight here. We got to move. So,
all right,
Ross. Ross.
Oh, he's muted.
Bueller.
Sorry, I'm muted. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with The Man with the Golden Gun. It actually like is my favorite Roger Moore one, and somehow they make a henchman who's like 3 feet tall. You know, like threatening, and then like Christopher Lee is one of my favorite Bond villains. So I'm gonna go with The Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah, so I just started watching the Roger Moore James Bond. I've only seen one of the movies. It wasn't this one, so I haven't gotten to this one yet. And I did enjoy Tron Legacy when I did see it. So Tron Legacy.
Nick?
Man with the Golden Gun.
Man with the Golden Gun. All right. Yeah, Wolf.
So I knew it'd have to happen eventually. I was like, oh, I'm on a roll. I've seen every single film in this tournament. And then we get to Man with the Golden Gun. This is actually one of the Bond films I've not seen. There's some older Bond films I'm kind of behind on, and this is one of those. So this is a blind spot for me. I have seen Tron Legacy, but it's also been a while, probably not since the theaters. But I remember visually being blown away by it. How did it not get a Best Visual Effects nomination?
Yeah,
for the
I don't know how.
Like this is insane. Because I would say like the lineup of films were good, but I would say like take out Hereafter and put in Tron Legacy. Like that's like kind of wild to me. But yeah, visually this film is stunning. Yeah, plot wise, story wise, it could have been better, but I'll still give it to Tron because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Tron
Ross.
Legacy.
Yeah, sorry.
Ross.
Sorry, Austin. Sorry.
No, Tron Legacy easily. I think that movie's great. Yeah, Man with the Golden is fine. Christopher Lee's the best thing about it. So, all right. Moving on to 22 Jump Street and Man of Steel. Ross.
Okay. No, Man of Steel easily. 22 Jump Street. I don't even think about as more of a comedy. Man of Steel is just almost straight action. So Man of Steel.
Yeah. Zach.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Man of Steel. There are certain reasons I just I won't get into them, but so because of that, 22 Jump Street.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
I like the beginning Krypton stuff with Man of Steel, and I really like the third act. That the middle of the movie is kind of where it loses me. But I haven't seen 22 Jump Street, so Man of Steel.
Yeah. Wolf, what do you say?
First time I'm going to be using that word, guys. Man of Steel is a masterpiece. I think that this is truly the greatest, or not the greatest, but the most underrated comic book movie of all time.
There it is.
Of all time. I think this is the most underrated. I think there's so many themes thematically that are super rich and powerful that they explore in this film. I think it's just really emotionally resonant, but also, yeah, the action in here, top notch. Michael Shannon is excellent as Zod. I used to not like this film when I first saw it in theaters, actually, because of certain aspects that other people complained about. But over the years, I've caught so many little details with it that makes me love it even more. It's easily my favorite of all the Zack Snyder kind of movies out there, for sure, too. 22 Jump Street, I think of it more of as like a comedy myself personally. So I'll go with Man of Steel here, just for that whole entire long, I want to say 50-minute action sequence of just pure action for like the
Yeah.
last
Pure chaos and
season.
destruction
Yeah.
and all of that. Yeah. But Austin.
Hell yeah, no, I'm with you, Wolf. It's a fucking masterpiece. It's great. I love Man of
Oh,
Steel,
yeah.
and best Superman movie ever, in my opinion. And good stuff. Yeah, and then thank God he finally punched somebody in this fucking movie. It only took 40 years to get a Superman movie punching somebody. Jesus, yeah, and then you could punch General Zod because he's got the same powers, and it's fine. So yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, I love the cast. Love the way it looks. Love Henry Cavill. So yeah, Man of Steel. Jordan.
Yeah. I think both these are good. I think 22 Jump Street is a great action comedy. It's got like a good combo of both. But yeah, Man of Steel might be a masterpiece. Yeah, I mean, I might be with you guys, and it's just like so good at. And the thing is, I don't get some of the like criticism that like people say, oh, it's just too much chaos and too much destruction. When you have one of the most powerful superheroes that exists fighting like one of the other villains with almost the exact same powers, and they're gonna destroy a whole freaking city. They're gonna and they're gonna destroy like a small town. They're gonna do all that stuff. But then
especially because Age of Ultron has the same deal with like the Battle of Sokovia, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
they make that a plot point in Civil War, but none of the actual audience complained that there was too much destruction. And it's like, but you realized just how much of that place was destroyed. It's like, come on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And also the same people that will complain that there's too much destruction in this will complain that there's not enough destruction and chaos in the Captain America Brave New World, which I mean, I can kind of see that more. There should have been more if you have Hulk, but even still, it's like you like hate destruction. I mean, now you want it. I don't like what I don't know, but and yeah, like I think that the themes that are explored, just like seeing Krypton more, Russell Crowe, like having him in there, but then also having what's his name? His other dad. I'm like
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Kevin Costner. Yeah, which is the only little nitpicky like thing that he could have saved his dad and he should have, and I don't know why the hell he tells him not to save him. It's stupid. But
it's because of the Twister. We're all going back around to the Twister, man.
Yeah, and you don't want to reveal yourself to people, even though you're the most powerful thing on earth. So who cares if you're revealed? I don't know, but so I'll go with easily the Man of Steel here.
Okay. All right.
Real quick, I did want to show this off real quick. This is actually a Blu-ray that I own of Man of Steel. It's inside of the actual casing that looks like his ass, which is like really cool. Whoa, almost dropped it, but yeah.
So it's encased in hope, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got the New Mutants and Quantum of Solace. Oof.
Oh, damn.
All right, so hand vote for this one. All right, New Mutants. Raise your hand.
No.
Okay.
New Mutants.
My turn. Oh, New Mutants. Oh God. Oh, but versus Quantum of Solace. Why is it two bad movies?
Yeah,
that's the way it came out. It is what it is.
Oh God, I saw 007 and I was like, oh, Skyfall?
Quantum of Solace. I'll say it's at least a Bond that has some okay action.
Oh
yeah, I'll give it. I'll give it to this.
It's fine. It'll lose to Man of Steel, so no big deal.
When he's doing the twirl 360 no scope, it was cool.
Yeah,
it's fine. It'll lose to Man of Steel, no big deal.
Yeah,
yeah, no biggie. Scott Pilgrim and Ghost Rider.
Okay, interesting.
Okay,
Zach.
Yeah, Ghost Rider is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Scott Pilgrim. I've learned to love it more as time's gone on. So Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
I've seen both of these movies a fair amount of times. I actually think that Ghost Rider is fairly boring. Even though it's got a really solid like first transformation sequence, everything else in the movie is just kind of bleh. Scott Pilgrim is one of my favorite movies, and the more I learn about Edgar Wright and his love for like the Jackie Chan kung fu movies, and that's kind of why he really wanted to make this movie and do like the action sequences. Like I can really respect that. So Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah. Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah, I man, you're right. This is comic heavy. But
Yeah, it is.
yeah, I am a huge Scott Pilgrim fan. I loved the anime series they came out with on Netflix as well too. I thought that was really good.
It's great.
But
I gotta see that still. Yeah.
But yeah, this also really started my crush on Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Was this movie? I started crushing on her since then, and yeah, this is a really fun movie. Got Edgar Wright style all over it. Ghost Rider, it's also pretty fun, but I think I'm going to lean Scott Pilgrim here because of the rewatchability factor. I've just seen it a lot more. So
yeah, sounds good. Austin.
I'm not a fan of Scott Pilgrim. I kind of hate this movie. I think Scott Pilgrim. I think the character is an asshole. I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead's an asshole. There's a lot of unlikable characters. In this movie.
That's fair. That's fair.
They
there's
are
a lot of
teenagers.
really unlikable people, and I don't give a shit whether they get together or not. He has a girl that loves him with knives and completely screws her over to go with this person that doesn't like him either. Like I don't like the plot of that movie. By the time they get to like the fifth evil X, I'm like, for fuck's sakes, can we just end this movie? So it's like, Jesus Christ, how long does it take to get through these 7? Like
The fifth one was Roxy, though. Come on, man.
This movie just drags. It's not
Yeah.
good. I don't like it. So I'll go Ghost Rider.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with like probably Nick's take for Ghost Rider. Like, what a boring movie, but it has a really cool transformation scene, and you think it would be like so much better with Nick Cage, you know? But it's just it wasn't Nick. But it wasn't Nick Cage's fault, though. I think it's just like the way the movie was put together and stuff. Because I was excited because also Eva Mendes, like she's pretty attractive in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll probably have to go with Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It also has Aubrey Plaza, which is another one of my Hollywood crushes. Kieran Culkin's at least fun for what he's doing in there, and even Chris Evans being like the skateboarder dude and stuff. I think it's fun, and I like how they they make it more of like a video game style thing. Because I read all the graphic novels because I had a friend at a job that I work for that they're like really like wanted me to read them. They're like, you got to read these because they're making a movie, and this series is really good, and I have all of them. You can borrow them and read them. I'm like, okay, sure. And they're actually really good. The books are probably even a little better than the movie, but I do appreciate some of the aspects that are a little different. And yeah, just seeing all the evil X's that come next. Jason Schwartzman's one, Brandon Routh. I mean, there's a bunch of them. So I'll go with Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. Russ.
I'm gonna go with Scott Pilgrim. It actually made me a fan of Kieran Culkin. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Scott Pilgrim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Going on to District 9 and The Wolverine.
Ooh, dang. You know, I had a sinking suspicion that District 9 was going to pop up here at some point.
Yeah. And here it is.
Fudge. You know, it's funny. I had to watch the Wolverine like multiple times before I really could get into it. There's something about that movie that I just couldn't. Like, the premise totally sounds like something that I would really enjoy, but for whatever reason, I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times before I could actually finish it. I think the District 9 is actually really, really good. Solid, underrated film. It's that movie that Neil Blomkamp made when he couldn't make a Halo movie. So I think that one edges it out for me, District 9.
Yeah. Sounds good. Wolf, what do you say?
Oh, man. Yeah, see, this is interesting for me as well because we were just talking about like what is an action movie, what classifies as an action movie, and other than some memorable sequences I can think of, District 9 doesn't have a lot of action to it. It's more of like a drama focused around these like aliens and such. I feel that it doesn't really have a ton of action in there, but I think it's really well done and even a found footage movie, at least for a good chunk of it. Like, it's a pretty solid found footage movie. And yeah, I think it is definitely one of the best alien sci-fi movies. The Wolverine definitely some really great action sequences. Another great action sequence on a train too. So yeah, some fun action in there. But I do think like the Silver Samurai stuff kind of falls flat and makes the movie really not as engaging. But I still have fun time with it. I own it and watch it a few times. But I'll go with District 9 here. I want to show that film some love.
Yeah. Austin.
I just want to show District 9 some love because I feel like it's maybe come up maybe twice in the history of tournament fights. Let's give it some love.
Oh,
District 9.
Sure.
It like never comes up. It's good. I like Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah. Yes, it was interesting because District 9 doesn't have a lot of action. It really doesn't. I mean, it's got a couple of things where they're shooting some guns, but so it's really interesting. But the Wolverine. So like I'm a huge Hugh Jackman Wolverine guy, and I do love this movie. I don't love the ending. Yeah, the Silver Samurai stuff just really butchered that. It's really weird. But I love the like romance with Yukio, and I love seeing Hiroyuki Sanada in there, I think that the train sequence that's really great. But like. Just to throw it in, because I forgot to even mention it, I won't go off on a tangent because I know we're shorter on time. But since I don't love the ending for the Wolverine, I forgot to mention the taking of Pelham 1-2-3's non-ending. When I watched it for the first time, that movie has no ending; it just is done, and you're like, okay, they're in the middle of like a scene trying to do something here, and it just is over. Okay, but anyways, just throwing that out there. But also give it to the Wolverine because I think he has a little more action. So, Ross,
District 9.
All right, and Zach.
I would have gone with the Wolverine because yes, the ending is kind of cheesy, but I really enjoy the movie and all the different action things that you do get, and I was invested in it the entire time, so I would have gone with the Wolverine.
Okay,
Yeah.
close, but District 9. All right. There we go. Okay. Going down Dungeons and Dragons, the most recent one. And Bullet Train, two very busy posters. I don't like either one of these posters. I hate posters where they have to cram 20 people on the poster. It just I don't like that.
But to be fair, I used what I thought was the better Dungeons and Dragons poster for the thumbnail. It's like everyone looking down. I thought that's kind of a cooler looking one.
Yeah,
so,
I just hate the
floating.
I hate floating head Photoshop head posters. I don't like.
But why does it not even look like the actors on that poster? It's really weird. The one
it's on
that doesn't even look like Chris Pratt. Like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just really weird. Yeah, it's because it's deep fake.
All right, Wolf. Quickly.
This is like AI made that. Anyways,
I mean Chris Pine.
Or Chris Pine, not Chris Pratt. Jeez. I have him on the mind after the electricity, but no. I'll give it to Dungeons and Dragons because this was a really fun, pleasant surprise. I expected this movie to fully suck. Like I was just not even going to give this movie almost a chance. Then I saw the reviews, and then went to go see the film, and it was a blast. So I give it to Dungeons and Dragons. Bullet Train. It's a fun movie, but was a result of my first kiss, and my first kiss was from an abusive ex. So there we go. That's the reason why I'm not gonna. That is the reason why I'm not gonna go with Bullet Train. So I'll go Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, Austin.
I think both these movies are about 15 minutes too long, but other than that, I thought they were both all right. I'll go Dungeons and Dragons. It was a decent surprise.
For me, I got to go Bullet Train. Like, I'm a huge fan of that movie. I like the style, like the humor, like the kind of action that they try to keep contained within a train. But there is a little bit where they get off the train, but it's mostly on the train, and the music where they do like Staying Alive, but it's the Japanese version. That's fun, and it just looks like everyone's having a blast, even though like it's not an actual real a bullet train. They just recreated this thing, but it looked really good the way that they recreated it. So, and Dungeons and Dragons was a big surprise. Like I thought that the trailers for it looked god awful. Like they look bad, but then the movie actually ended up being a lot of fun. So, but I'll still go bullet train here. Ross, what do you say?
Dungeons and Dragons easily. It was my biggest surprise of that year. And I saw it 2 times opening day. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
Mm-hmm. 2 times in one day, huh? Wow.
I mean, basically, I saw it at 9 o'clock. It was done around midnight, and then I went at 2 p.m. the next day.
Oh, okay, nice. But Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, so I like both of these movies. I thought they were both entertaining, but I was more entertained by Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Nick, what do you say?
Bullet Train seems like my kind of movie.
Okay. What'd you vote for again, Ross? What'd you see twice?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, just make sure. Okay. Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Iron Man 3 and Shang-Chi. I don't care for either one of these movies. So Shang-Chi is boring, and Iron Man 3 has a good first act and nothing else. After the Mandarin reveal, I don't care. So,
but this is a Mandarin matchup with the Mandarin being in both movies.
Yeah, and that Mandarin sucks as a character because I hate the Tyler or the Slattery shit, whatever the fuck his name is. It's dumb.
Trevor, you got it.
Trevor Slattery, I don't like it. So I guess I'll go Iron Man 3. Jordan.
I don't like Iron Man 3 at all.
Oh, that's right. Iron Man 3 doesn't have Aquafina, so that gets my vote. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
That puts it over the top pretty easily. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but I just don't care for it. Like the movie makes no sense. They're it's Shane Black, so you got to have Christmas in there. That's fine, I guess. That's the more entertaining part than any of the rest of it, because he just they're having all these Iron Man suits flying around, so it just gives it no stakes that anyone can be Iron Man, even Pepper Potts, and the villain's just whatever kind of villain. He takes his arc reactor out and just chucks it, but then the next movie he's just Iron Man again. There's no explanation to what that was all about, and that gives out his home address, which is a stupid thing to do, and then they blow up his house. Well, gee, that's what you get for giving out your home address. I
think a terrorist would be able to figure out where Tony Stark lives. I don't think that would be that difficult, but all right.
Probably. Yeah.
Motherfucker got kidnapped in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Mandarin, they totally ruined that. Yeah, they got a cool character for about 1 minute, and then he's just stupid after that. And Shang-Chi, I don't. Unfortunate. Yeah, but Shang-Chi, I don't really love it either. It's just goofy and silly and all over the place, and they just fight some kind of flying dragon thing, and it's just chaos. I just want to have a cool villain fight scene at the end where it's just one villain that's formidable, and either 1 or 2 people or 3 or whatever it needs to be just goes up against the one villain, and
not a group of heroes just fighting a bunch of CGI nothings.
Yeah.
CGI,
just dragons, aliens, floating orbs, whatever it is. Yeah. No thanks. So I'll still go with Shang-Chi because I just have a bad taste in my mouth after Iron Man 3. So Shang-Chi. Ross, what do you say?
Shang-Chi, only because I like the lead actor, after seeing him in Last Breath. And then also, it has the guy from Succession. So I'm going to go with Shang-Chi.
But yeah, Simu Liu did a good job. Yeah, I'll say that. But Zach?
Shang-Chi, because outside of Guardians 3, Shang-Chi was my favorite movie post Endgame.
Yeah. Nick?
I completely agree with Zach. Iron Man is my favorite superhero, but I'm a kung fu guy. Shang-Chi I think is awesome. It's just such a great, solid kung fu meets superhero, which is just all me every day. It was going to be very difficult for this movie to annoy me or be like the worst experience I've ever had, honestly. And plus, you got Simu Liu, who is working on making a Sleeping Dogs movie, which is like one of my favorite video games ever. So Shang-Chi all the way, baby.
Not the Russell Crowe Sleeping Dogs. That had nothing to do with the video game. Yeah. And also that city bus scene was a lot of fun. Like that.
Yeah.
Was shot
Yeah,
really
that's
well.
the thing that I'm talking about. Like with the guy from Success, with the guy from Severance, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like he's the bigger African American dude with the beard and Severance too.
Yeah, right.
Oh
Wolf.
Well,
yeah. So both of these movies are interesting because Iron Man 3 I full on hated when I first watched it in theaters. I thought this movie was just absolutely awful. I was not a fan of it because of this decisions. But then over the years of rewatching it, I actually kind of have a little bit of an appreciation for this movie now because of the ballsy swings it takes. I think it actually kind of goes places, and I was like, okay, this is actually kind of interesting. And I think it's a great arc for Tony because of him with the kid, and like I feel like it's a really great arc with him.
PTSD.
Shang-Chi, this is an action movie. That amazing action sequence on the train. There's some great action sequences here. So I'm definitely going to give it to Shang-Chi. And my friend thinks that Ben Kingsley was like Oscar worthy in this movie, though, which is like ridiculous to me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks he's actually
right up there with him as Gandhi. Sure.
Yeah,
Wait
right.
up
Right up there with him in Schindler's List. Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, right.
He literally claimed. He literally claimed that that like he actually gave a deeper and better performance than like Tony Lung did in the movie.
Yeah. No, I was if anything, Tony Lung would be way more of the Oscar worthy kind of role. But yeah. Shang-Chi is an awesome movie, so I'll go with that one.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
By the way,
all right, speed round time.
Was that Andrew that had that hot take? It's probably him.
No, it was actually Ari, my friend Ari.
Oh, okay.
He had that hot take. So
All
right. We had Top Gun Maverick in the bracket, so I'll play this and we'll get this wrapped up.
I feel the need for speed.
All right, big time speeding up time. Let's do it. All right, all the winners of this one will go to the Sweet 16, so they'll make it to the final bracket, and then we'll see what wins part 4. So let's make this quick. You guys know how it works. Votes only. Jordan, No Time to Die, and Creed.
I'll go Creed.
Russ.
Creed.
Zach.
Creed.
Nick.
Can you take me higher, Creed?
Yeah.
And Wolf.
Yo, Creed. I'm gonna go Creed.
Right,
with arms wide open.
All right, and again, pardon me as I jot these down really quick for our final bracket. Make sure I don't miss anything. All right, so Creed. All right, and going down to Rogue One versus Drive. Ross.
Let's make things interesting. Drive.
All right. Zach.
Rogue One.
Okay. Nick.
Hoping for a blind Donnie Yen face off. Rogue One.
One. Okay. Wolf.
Drive.
I'll go Rogue One. Jordan.
Yeah, Blind Donnie Yen face off where he's playing the same character from John Wick. Yeah, let's go Rogue One.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Rogue One. All right. Rogue One. All right. Going down to John Wick Chapter 4 and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. So second rogue movie in a row. Zach.
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. All right. Nick.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay, Wolf.
Mr. Wick.
Yeah. John Wick. Jordan.
I'm going with my favorite movie of the decade so far, John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay. Whoa.
All right. Ross.
John Wick Chapter 4.
All right. John Wick Chapter 4. Okay.
Movie rules.
All right. John Wick 4. Down to the original John Wick and Guns
Ooh.
Akimbo.
Oh,
So
dang.
both posters
Good
with
match.
people holding guns. Nick.
John Wick.
Wick. Okay. Wolf.
About to have another John Wick matchup. John Wick.
John Wick. Yeah, I want to make it a John Wick matchup. I'll go with that. Jordan.
Well, they mess with the three things from a guy that you don't mess with. A guy's dog, a guy's car, and a guy's girl. So John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Russ.
The Baba Yaga, John Wick.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And Zach.
John Wick.
John Wick. Okay, so we'll get that next round, but they both move on to the championship. BVS and Captain America: The First Avenger. Wolf.
BVS.
Yeah, I'll go BVS. Jordan.
I'll go Captain America.
Russ.
Captain America.
Zach.
Captain America.
And Nick.
First Avenger.
Damn.
Man, I call some BS on that BVS.
I know. BVS gets like no love in this community. It's fucking weird. That movie's great. But yeah. All right.
Great on the second try is what it is.
Okay. Towering Inferno and Kong Skull Island. Me. Oh, Kong Skull Island. Jordan.
I'm really high in the Towering Inferno after just watching it, so I'll go Towering Inferno.
Okay. Russ.
That one bug scene, Kong Skull Island.
All right.
Yep.
Zach.
Kong Skull Island.
Okay. Nick.
Kong.
Okay. And Wolf.
Purely from an action movie standpoint, Kong Skull Island.
Yeah. All right. Kong Skull
But
Island.
go watch Towering Inferno if you haven't seen it, because that movie's great.
Yeah. Born Ultimatum and Rush Hour 3. So Born Ultimatum wins.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that earlier, so I'm not out of line here. And then Constantine and Deja Vu. Jordan.
Oh, Constantine by a mile. Yeah.
All right.
Ross.
Constantine.
Okay. Yeah, Zach.
Constantine.
Okay. Nick.
Constantine.
Wolf.
I'm having deja vu. I thought I just saw this movie in here.
Yeah.
Constantine.
Yeah, I hope we get that sequel soon. They're talking about it. Constantine.
Yeah.
I know he wants to play it again, and Francis Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm down. Hope so. Okay. All right. Going on to this, especially with Keanu's popularity right now, I think it's a good time to do it. Like, why not?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Deadpool
Yeah,
2.
and even like Tilda Swinton's a bigger name now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ross, you got the Deadpool 2 and Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
The Sith. Okay. Zach.
Revenge of the Sith.
All right. Nick.
Deadpool 2.
Okay. Wolf.
The movie that's the chosen one and has the high ground. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm going to go Revenge of the Sith. Jordan.
No, we'll go with Revenge of the Sith.
All right. All right. Hang on. This is a long title, so bear with me. Of the Sith. Okay. All right. Okay. Revenge of the Sith moves on. We got Avengers Age of Ultron and Thor Ragnarok. Zach.
Thor Ragnarok.
Nick.
Avengers Age of Ultron.
Wolf.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Jordan.
Let's go Thor Ragnarok.
And Russ.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. All right, takes it. Avengers. All right, Age of Ultron. All right, again, pardon me. Just gotta write these down. Make sure I don't miss anything like I missed Jackass number 2. That was my bad in the comedy one. So I don't know why I didn't write down the winner. That was weird. So that was my bad. All right, Ghost Protocol and the Fall Guy. Nick.
Ghost Protocol.
All right, Wolf.
Yeah, Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, I'm gonna easily go Ghost Protocol here. Jordan.
Oh yeah, Ghost Protocol.
Okay, Russ.
Let's not do the movie that is not 30 minutes too long. Ghost Protocol.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
sure.
All right. And Zach.
Ghost Protocol.
Okay, Ghost Protocol moves on. All right, and going down to Godzilla -1 and Aliens.
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
Oh, damn it.
Uh-oh.
Damn it.
SpaghettiOs.
Wolf.
Oh, I mean, Godzilla -1 is a great movie, but I feel like we have to let it age over time to really say that it's better than Aliens. I feel Aliens is too iconic for me, so I'll say Aliens.
Shit. All right, here's my only logic. I'll make it quick. I'm literally doing a Godzilla tournament next week, and I think Godzilla -1 has a pretty good shot since that's the one I think most people have seen. So I'll go Aliens this time.
Yeah, it's game over, man. Game over for Godzilla -1. Let's go Aliens.
Shit, it's unfortunate. All right.
Yeah.
Ross.
Let's go Aliens.
Yeah. No, Kara was saying, what a predicament. Yeah, that's for me. Yeah. All right. Zach.
Aliens.
All right. And Nick.
Godzilla -1, bitches.
All right. I still wouldn't have had it, though.
Look into my eye. It's
Yeah.
got to be an alien. Look into
Aliens. Right. Top Gun Maverick and Tron Legacy. So 2 Legacy sequels. All right.
And both directed by Joseph Kosinski, by the way.
Joseph Kosinski movies. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the Kosinski match.
Shoot.
Me, I like them both. But I think the better movie is probably Top Gun Maverick overall. But they're close. Jordan?
Well, I'm just going to show some love to it because we don't see it as much. I'll go Tron Legacy. And also, when I went to a convention, they had a bunch of girls dressed up as those Tron girls. And I was like, yes, please, let's get a picture. So, yeah, Tron Legacy.
All right. Ross?
Oh, Top Gun Maverick, easily.
Top Gun Maverick, Zach?
This is tough, but I'm going to go Tron Legacy, but won't be mad either way.
Okay. Nick?
Top Gun.
Top Gun and Wolf?
I'm going to use my full 10 seconds to say this. Alice in Wonderland actually got a Best Visual Effects nomination over Tron Legacy. Just had to point that out. But I will say Top Gun Maverick is my vote.
All right, Top Gun Maverick.
That makes me sad. What you just said, that makes me sad.
Yeah, seriously. Just make the world sad.
Yeah. No matter what you think of Tron Legacy, like the movie, those effects are fucking incredible in that movie. Those are great.
Oh,
Then they
that should make the Academy really sad.
Man of Steel and Quantum of Solace. Oh. Is anybody going Quantum of Solace in this case? Even if you don't love Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Okay. Yeah, all right, Man of Steel. Okay, we'll do that at least for now. All right, Steel. Okay, all right, goes in there. Scott Pilgrim and District 9. Jordan.
Ooh, one of them's clearly the better movie, but does it have much action? I don't care. I'll go District 9.
Okay, Ross.
Sure.
Scott Pilgrim.
Zach.
Scott Pilgrim.
Nick.
Mr. Pilgrim.
Oh, fuck. I tried. Austin, I tried. District 9.
I was with you.
I'm with you. I'll go District 9, but we have a tie, and we haven't had a tie in a while, so it goes to Zach.
I'm sorry, you guys. Scott Pilgrim.
Fuck.
So we won't see District 9 again for another year.
Yeah.
All right.
For 9 more
Zach,
years.
watch it fast and make sure it's in your top 128 so then we can see it soon.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
All right. Dungeons and Dragons and Shang-Chi. Ross.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. Zach.
Shang-Chi by smidge.
All right. Nick.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. Wolf.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I think the more clever movie is Dungeons and Dragons. Jordan.
Yeah, I think for sure Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Okay, so Dungeons and Dragons. All right. I have to put Honor Among Thieves because it's not the other one.
Wanted to spread the love. I feel like we have a little bit too much Marvel. I was like, let's show some more Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Sure,
all right. All right, that is our final one. All those movies that just won will be in that final bracket, Jordan. So we've got our full 64. We got our full 64. So, when we make that group for that, we'll send that out and make sure everybody's seen everything. And all right, now let's just see what wins part 4 and joins our other winners here. So, starting out with Creed and Rogue One. Zach.
Creed.
Creed. All right, Nick.
Rogue One.
Okay, Wolf.
Creed.
I'll go Rogue One. Jordan.
Yeah, so there's a speed round, so I can't pull out every pop figure that I have from Rogue One because I have like every character. So I'll go with Rogue One. Russ.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Rogue One.
All right, Rogue One moves on. Okay, Nick is up first for John Wick Chapter 4 versus John Wick. All right.
Here we go, baby.
Nick.
Donnie
John
Yen
Wick
blind match.
Chapter
Come on.
4. Chapter
Yeah.
4, baby.
All right. Yeah, Wolf.
Let's see. I'll go with the original John Wick.
I'll go with the better action, John Wick Chapter 4. Jordan.
Yeah, there's like so many action scenes that are incredible in John Wick Chapter 4. One both, but I think more in Chapter 4.
Okay. Russ.
John Wick Chapter 4.
All right. And Zach.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay, Chapter 4 takes it, wins that
Yeah.
battle. All right. Captain America and Kong Skull Island. Wolf.
In this case, Kong Skull Island.
I'll easily go Kong Skull Island. Jordan.
Yeah, I'll go with Kong Skull Island here.
Russ.
Kong Skull Island.
Okay. Zach.
Captain America.
And Nick.
Captain America.
Okay, close.
First Avenger.
Kong Skull Island wins that one.
Yeah.
And I think that poster right there won our best posters tournament. That's a dope poster.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a
That
great
poster
poster.
rocks. Yeah, I would hang that on my wall in a second. All right. Born Ultimatum and Constantine. Me, I'll go Constantine. Jordan.
Oh, yeah. I'll go Constantine.
Okay.
Ross.
Russ.
Born Ultimatum.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Constantine.
Constantine. Nick.
Constantine.
And Wolf.
I will go with Born Ultimatum.
Okay, close, but Constantine. Okay, into the Elite Eight. All right, on the other side, we've got Revenge of the Sith and Age of Ultron. Jordan.
Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Easy.
Sith. Okay. Russ.
Revenge of the Sith, easily.
Into the Sith. Zach.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Nick.
Age of Ultron.
Wolf.
Revenge of the Sith.
And yeah, I'll go Revenge of the Sith. The action's really good in that movie. All right. Revenge of the Sith in there. Yeah, it's an interesting Elite Eight so far. Ghost Protocol and Aliens. Russ.
Oh.
Oh, Aliens.
Aliens. Zach.
Just to make it interesting, Ghost Protocol.
Okay. Nick.
Ripley. Aliens.
All right. Wolf.
Aliens.
Yeah, I'll go Aliens. Jordan.
Ethan Hunt. Ghost Protocol.
Top
Dang.
Gun Maverick.
Friendly.
Top Gun Maverick and Man of Steel. Zach.
Ooh.
Easily Top Gun Maverick.
Okay. Nick.
Man of Steel.
Okay. Wolf.
Easily Man of Steel.
Go with the masterpiece that is Man of Steel. Wolf.
Oh,
Jordan.
yes.
Not easily, but Man of Steel.
I say it's not easy. I love Top Gun Maverick,
Yeah.
but Man of Steel is in my 128 firmly right now. So,
Yeah.
Ross.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel into the 8. Okay. And Scott Pilgrim versus Dungeons and Dragons hanging in there. Nick.
Scott Pilgrim.
Wolf.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I'll go Dungeons and Dragons. Jordan.
Yeah, these are both kind of fantasy gaming type of movies. I'll probably go Scott Pilgrim, I think.
All right, Ross.
For that fat rolling dragon, Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. And Zach.
Sure.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons kind of the dark horse.
Justice for
now.
District
Yeah.
9. That's
All right.
that's,
But we always seem to have kind of a dark horse that hangs in there. I think Dungeons and Dragons is doing that tonight. So there you go. All right, I like it. We got an interesting lead 8 here, all kinds of genres. So I like it. Genres of action.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start out with Rogue One and John Wick Chapter 4.
we have 2 Star Wars movies in there.
We do. Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Yeah. 2 prequels, technically.
Yeah.
So, Wolf, Rogue One and John Wick 4.
I'm gonna actually go Rogue One.
I'll go John Wick here. Jordan.
I'll go John Wick. Yeah.
Ross.
John Wick.
All right. Zach.
Rogue One.
One and Nick.
John Wick Chapter 4 is epic as hell.
Epic Zell. All right. And it's into the 4. John Wick Chapter 4 into the final 4. All right. Kong Skull Island and Constantine. All right. We got me. Ooh, this is a tricky one. These are both really good. I think the action is slightly better in Kong Skull Island, so I'll go with that. Jordan?
Yeah, I'll go Kong Skull Island.
I don't mind either one, though. But Russ?
I'm gonna go with Kong Skull Island.
All right. Zach?
Kong Skull Island.
Okay. Nick?
Constantine.
And Wolf?
And I'm gonna say, just so we can have Keanu Reeves versus Keanu Reeves, Constantine.
Okay, we
Yeah,
almost did, but
let's
not
do
quite. We didn't have it.
Oh man.
4-2. So
okay.
Kong Skull Island. We almost did. All right, but on the other side, we got Revenge of the Sith and Aliens. So we're going up to Jordan.
Revenge of the Sith and Aliens. Man, this one's tough. I gotta go Aliens because the Revenge of the Sith at least has a couple cheesy moments, but it's very nitpicky. So
Okay. All right, Ross.
I'm gonna go with Aliens because there was a girl dressed up as Ripley at Phoenix inside of that suit thing she wore.
oh yeah, yeah, that's cool. In the mech suit,
Aliens.
Aliens. Nick.
Aliens.
Wolf.
Aliens is the better movie, but I am going to love to Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. And I'm gonna go Aliens. All right. So all right, we got Man of Steel and Dungeons and Dragons hanging in there. Ross.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. Zach.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Nick.
Man of Steel.
Wolf.
Man of Steel.
I'll go Man of Steel. Jordan.
yeah. Man of Steel by like a fantasy whatever country mile.
by a corn Papa country mile.
Yeah, right.
By a Kansas country mile.
Yeah,
That's
right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we got an interesting final 4 here. We got a straight up like shoot 'em up action movie. We got kind of a monster verse movie. We got a superhero movie, and we got some action sci-fi. So we got all kinds of stuff going on here. I like it. All right. We are going to Zach. We got John Wick Chapter 4 and Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
Skull Island. Okay. Nick.
John Wick.
All right. Wolf.
Yeah, here I'm gonna go John Wick Chapter 4.
John Wick. All right. I'll also go John Wick. Jordan.
Well, I don't have a John Wick pop figure, but I do have a Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk. I've got that. So there you go. I'll vote for John Wick.
Okay. Ross.
John Wick.
Okay. John Wick Chapter 4 into the finals. Aliens and Men of Steel on the other side. Nick.
Aliens.
Aliens. Okay. Wolf.
You know what? Man of Steel.
I go Aliens. Got it.
Okay.
Jordan.
Yeah. Well, I've got a strategy behind this, so I'm going to go Man of Steel.
Okay.
reason.
Russ.
And I got a strategy behind this. I'm gonna go with Aliens.
Okay. Zach.
Aliens.
Aliens into the finals.
Ah.
All right. There we go.
Dang.
Not going to pay off.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We have our finals. We got John Wick Chapter 4 and we've got Aliens. All right. Wolf, you got to kick us off here. What you got?
I guess when it comes to the more iconic film for me, I gotta let John Wick Chapter 4 age a bit. I will go Aliens.
Man, it's tricky. I have a strategy behind this as well. I'll go John Wick Chapter 4. Jordan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it seems we have a general conundrum here, and
Yeah.
it's going to be John Wick Chapter 4. I hope we'll see.
We'll see. Ross.
Since like these two are the two like action stars, and it is Women's History Month. I mean, I got to go with the Aliens.
Okay. All right, Zach.
Aliens.
And Nick.
But you guys don't understand. There's a blind Donnie Yen.
Yes.
John Wick Chapter 4, man.
Okay.
And he's
well,
one with the Force.
That actually makes it a tie, and our final tiebreaker goes to Nick.
Oh, this is great. John Wick 4, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
There you go. All right. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. John Wick Chapter 4 takes the tournament. All right. And with that, I believe John Wick Chapter 4 becomes a two-time winner. Because I've got to find it, but I believe it won our most anticipated of 2023 tournament, I believe. So
has Aliens won a tournament?
Aliens has won 2 tournaments, so it is a two-time winner. Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Good.
So it is.
So they're tied.
Yeah, they're tied now.
Has Man of Steel ever won a tournament?
Man of Steel has won a 2013 Ladder Series tournament.
2013. Oh, okay. Because that was initially my strategy. I didn't know for sure. I was like,
yeah, we actually had quite a few winners in here. Kong Skull Island won a posters tournament. Man of Steel has won one. I believe what else do we have? I think even Revenge of the Sith has won like a mystery tournament or something. We've had quite a few winners in here. So yeah, there you go. Quite a few.
So suck it, Women's History Month, because Women's History should not be relegated to just 1 month. It should be celebrated always.
But yes, our 71st unique winner was John Wick Chapter 4, our 2023 anticipated tournament. So, which counted, even though it wasn't out yet. It won our anticipated tournament, and now with this, it becomes a two-timer. So there you go. All
nice. Yeah. This was fun. So we got all the random action movies we're going to see for this series in the book. So it's just a matter of the winners that made it to the championship. So that'll be at the end of the month, and we'll be getting to that probably in like a week and a half or 2 weeks, roughly. So we'll take a week off to do a couple other things, and then we'll get back to the championship. So but this was a fun time. So we'll just do some plugs, and that'll be it. So we'll start with Ross. Where can we find you?
Just find me on Mega Movie Z. I don't know what we have planned yet, but we have stuff in the pipeline. So yeah, find me there, Mega Movie Z.
Yeah, sounds good. And Zach, what do you say?
Yeah, mainly Letterboxd and YouTube at MovieFanZ.
What do we got going?
But I will be here for the championship. I think I have like 10 blind spots, and I'll get half of them done before the championship, so that'll be good. But other than that, multiplex, lights out trivia, Piersco, all over the place.
Yeah, sounds good. And Nick, where can we find you?
You can find me on any movie trivia spaces. I was really happy that we got to do this. I didn't get to talk about it earlier, but I love, like, John Wick 4 is my favorite, and largely helped by the fact that there is a blind Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen is my favorite action star, so 100% glad that the vote kind of got down to me. I think it's awesome, so thank you for that.
Yeah, sounds good. And Wolf, where can we find you?
Yeah, so got a few things coming up. Tomorrow, our monthly mistakes continue. We are doing one for because of St. Patrick's Day, and this is the weekend of St. Patrick's Day. We are doing Leprechaun 4 in space. So
the worst one I know.
That should be a fun one to do just for you guys. We have to do one of those cheesy in space movies, so we're doing Leprechaun 4 in space. That should definitely be a blast. So tune in tomorrow for that.
That's what you want to drink to is the worst one of the series, right? You want to drink to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know though. Like the In the Hoods, and I think the worst of the series is Origins by far.
The best one, in my opinion, though, is still Vegas. Vegas
Oh
is
yeah,
the
that
best
was really
one.
good. Well, I'm actually trying to binge through all the films right now because my plan is on St. Patrick's Day I want to do like a actual ranking for you guys of the franchise as a whole. So that should be like a little fun surprise on St. Patrick's Day. Either that or do some St. Patrick's stream. Either we're gonna do that stream or like our favorite Irish movies of all time. So like do like a
Ooh,
movie
that'd be
strictly
cool.
from
Or I
Ireland.
got a fun idea, Mike.
Like that. So that should be really fun. What?
I have a fun idea for that.
What's that?
We do a watch along of the Luck of the Irish
Oh yeah, that would actually be
Huh?
that would actually be really fun.
because it has Lassie and it's doing a crazy Irish accent.
That's so true. That is
Well,
really
lucky
fun.
for us, Wolfman, there's still like 6 other Leprechaun movies, so we're not going to run out anytime soon.
No.
So,
That is
yeah,
Got
very
plenty.
yeah, there's plenty. There's the Hornswoggle one. Yeah, there's the
Oh, God.
shitty TV one.
there's
I mean, Leprechaun, 2 or
You got a
whatever is not
plethora
very
of
good.
Leprechaun
there's
movies.
plenty of them. So, yeah.
Leprechaun 2 literally has like we'll probably do that one next year because he literally has a scene of him like drinking a bottle of some sort of alcohol. It's for you to drink. But yeah, so we're doing that, and then also I'll announce it here. This is my big thing I do every year. I always do my halfway to Halloween series, but this is going to be in April. So April is going to be like a really stacked month because we have a lot of fun videos coming for you guys, like a video game movies ranking for y'all coming up, and all this other stuff because of Minecraft movie and all that stuff. So, but on top of all that, we also have my annual halfway to Halloween series I do where I get new channels that haven't been on the channel before so they can kind of plug themselves, kind of work with me, see how they do. But a bunch of horror aficionados who help me to just discuss a topic in horror. We do it every year. Last year we had Chad on. We did psychological horror. It was a really great discussion piece. So this is a little way to celebrate the halfway mark to my favorite holiday. So that'll be in April for you guys. So so y'all can stay tuned for a lot of really exciting stuff in March and especially April. So
Yeah, sounds good. And Austin, what do you got going on?
Just the monthly mistake, like Wolf mentioned, tomorrow night, so you can see us get drunk. Maybe I'm gonna go pick up some green apple cider for the occasion, Wolf. So let's drink
I
some
really probably
Bailey.
related.
yeah, I was gonna say like green apple cider would probably be good, or like I saw like the gold Michelob Ultra. I was thinking
Yeah.
gold like Leprechaun
Gold, gold would work too. But either one. I got a place called Bold Rock Brewery up the street, and they sell like a nice green apple hard cider that's good. So I might get that. And you can drink the gold, I'll drink the green. So green and gold.
Yeah, that'll work.
There you go.
And
Nice.
so we'll be doing that, and then I'll be on Rankum on Sunday with Malcolm talking about the best action movies of the 2020s, which John Wick Chapter 4 has a strong chance of making that list. So there you go. So
Better make the list.
It ties right in. That'll work out nicely. And then I'll just be on the channel next week for all the shenanigans next week. So there you go.
Yeah, and then I'll just say because we probably won't. I mean, I won't be on screen until after St. Patty's Day, so I'll say happy early St. Patty's Day, and I'm still here to convince Austin that corned beef and cabbage is delicious, and I'm gonna make a bunch of it and eat it. It is the best, especially if you make it in the slow cooker. That's how you got to do it. But so I'm doing that on Sunday instead of Monday, but just because that's when all my family is available. But and then let's see. You can find us on all the social media at Movie Hero 2121 and Jordan 83616, and also the Movie Hero Network on Facebook. And you can go over there and post your heart's content if it's movie related or pop culture or TV, any of that kind of stuff, and we'll share it out. We'll get you some subscribers, all that fun stuff, get you views, and we do have the next match of the Seen and Heard movie trivia tournament going on. The first round of or the first match of round 2. So Jonathan Carroll has been patiently waiting like a year to face someone in the championship. So but we're gonna have Chad Webb versus Jeremy Paul Adams. We were going to make it a 3-way, but our third Dylan ran Daz was going on a cruise. He's going to work on a cruise for like 8 months or whatever. So we're just going to do those two on Tuesday night. So yeah, that should be a fun time to just get back into some regular trivia that's not based on any kind of themes or anything. Yeah, and then after that, we will be getting into some seen and heard music trivia. So if anyone is interested in just guessing movies based on music clips, we'll be able to play it on the Patreon. So we won't get any copyright strikes. And there's a little TV round in between. Do some TV theme songs, that kind of stuff. So that's a fun time. And then let's see, we'll be. That's probably the only thing that we have for now. Now I am getting ready to set up which Ross and Wolf will be a part of the best to worst favorite family movie series. I just got a little busy this weekend. I gotta go over everybody's list one more time, just make sure that there's not any crossover. So I'll do that within the next day or two. I promise. I'll get that done, and I'll try my best to get to the extended schedule. That I got to do a little more tooling around with the schedule. There's a couple of things that I need to kind of rework just slightly, but so that should be out for the Patreon members. You want to see all that stuff and like exclusive podcasts and all that, you go to patreon.com/moviehero, and you can subscribe over there if you want to support the channel, or if you just want to see it just like a one-off thing. And they have a thing where new feature you can just buy just individual episodes of different things. The cheapest that Patreon will allow me to make it is $3. So I have it at the absolute cheapest. I wanted to even go less than that, but that's what they have it set for the minimum. So yeah, you can do that. And then yeah, just what we have coming up for tournament fights and tier ranker. So we will be doing next week. We'll take a little break from the action, and we'll be doing a TV show tier ranker, which will be the final in our greatest TV show of all time. It'll be the best TV shows from the 70s and earlier. So we're talking old school TV for that one. It'll be actually not. So it'll be this upcoming Wednesdays, because we're doing our trivia Tuesday night. So that got bumped just one day to Wednesday night. And then we have our next 64 unique tournament fight winners, and so that should be fun, just going back through all the ones that have won before. So that'll be a pretty tough tournament to be able to get through on that one. But we got that coming up, and then we have our best action movies of all time will be Tuesday, March 25th for the championship for this mystery series. So come on, and then Friday, March 28th will be Austin's birthday episode, where it's all Godzilla for the whole episode, and we'll just be voting on a bunch of Godzilla movies. So actually after today is when I can start watching Godzilla movies. So I'll be on a Godzilla binge for that. So that'll be fun, because I've only ever seen the original Godzilla as far as Japanese ones go. I haven't seen any.
That's fine. Like I said, anybody on the episode that hasn't seen them, just vote on the posters. It's going to be a dope poster tournament, so tune in for the posters, because all the Japanese those movies are fucking awesome. So just vote on the poster. It's great.
But if I can get in 4 or 5, I'd like to. We'll see what I can do.
Sure.
Yeah, but and then we have our best family movie tournament, just a straight up tournament of family movies, will be Tuesday, April 1st. Then we have our best TV show championship will be Friday, April 4th. So we got the championship tier ranker coming up. We have a tournament for Malcolm Lay's birthday, which is going to be a parody / spoof movie tournament. So we're going to be doing a little comedy there. Then we have the Battle of the Hulks, which will be Mark Ruffalo versus Ed Norton versus Eric Bana for that one. All their movies. Then we'll be getting into the next in the ladder series, which will be best movies of 1995. So we're going to be back on track with those again. And then we also have a little series that'll be movies based on books also. So that one will have to be extra picky, because there's probably like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movies based on books. So we're just gonna do the best to get most of the like all timers on there. So we'll just do the best we can for that one. And then we're actually going to have just a regular straight up movie hero mystery tournament like we used to do it every month where we spin the wheel.
You know what we could do, Jordan?
So.
What I would suggest for the book thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, we need to spin the wheel of movies at the end of the show before I forget.
Yeah, right.
We already did a Stephen King adaptation tournament, a full thing of Stephen King. We might exclude Stephen King because of that, because we already did a whole tournament.
Yeah, we could do that.
Books.
Yeah.
And that would free up 64 spaces for other non-Stephen King.
Right.
Because we literally did a whole tournament of Stephen King adaptations, a whole Stephen King tournament. So I think that would be, we could tell people, go back and watch that. We covered all the Stephen King book, movie things. Go back and watch that. And we covered all of them. So that could be a thing. We'll see.
Yeah. So if you don't see any of those, just go watch that tournament. Yeah, that's on the channel. So and also I was just gonna just shout out my birthday episode will be at the end of April, which will be the King of the Movie Mountain, which will be a episode where I need at least 9 people, maybe even 10, something like that. And I can't reveal too much about it, but what I can say is that we'll scoot everyone over to the side like we always do when we have the tournament bracket up, and then there'll be a theme. You have to just name movies from that particular theme, and then if you guess correctly, then you'll move up the ladder or the movie mountain per se. And if you get it wrong, you'll move down. And then if you get it wrong enough times, you'll move down back into the green room. There'll be new people popping in. And the goal is to just guess what the theme is and see if you can figure it out. And we'll just go for like a little over an hour or something like that. And yeah, it should be a fun time. Just kind of something more like just casual for my birthday, just like easy and fun, So yeah, and then I'll just throw out just a couple other ones that we have on the book. Just 2 last ones. We got Matt Majot. We'll be doing his top 128 coming up in early May, and then we're finally going to get to it. But I had to push it back just a couple of times to fit something in. We are going to do a tournament fights battles of our favorite documentaries of all times. So where everyone submits about 13 or 14 of their favorite documentaries.
Part of that.
Yeah. So if you want to be on that one, we got some spots. I'll even remember to write you down. I'll just put a wolf to hold your spot. Yeah, but yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what we got going on, and that will do it for us tonight. So yeah, thanks guys for being a part of this action series, and we got one more championship of the all-timers for this series. But yeah, we'll call it good here. So we'll say
wheel of movies.
Oh, you want to do it live?
Yeah.
We don't always do it live. Sometimes we do it off air.
It's up to you. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you want to hear the wheel or no? That's up to you.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah.
I will leave it to the panel. I won't leave it to me. If I get
as long as it doesn't freeze last time.
So. Yeah, Jordan had some freezing technical issues last time trying to bring up the wheel, so hopefully it pops up pretty quickly this time.
The website's been a little wonky, but it is here. So yeah. So we can just do it. Sure.
All right, hit it.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. We turn the volume up, and here you go. This is what we'll be doing for the next Wheel of Movies episode, a 1-hour deep dive into whatever movie pops up.
Unless I
Aliens 1980.
Aliens, your favorite movie of all time. You want it?
Wow.
Want to do that? It's in the championship, so we may as well do it.
Fucking of course.
Hey,
of course.
There you go.
Jordan actually
there it is.
About the Godzilla one and asked me, have you seen a lot of Godzilla movies? Because you might not be the best fit. And I said, I've seen 27 Godzilla movies. So
yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good fit. Yeah, so yeah, there you go, Austin. You can talk about your favorite movie. So
fucking A.
So you can
Let's
do a
do
deep
it.
dive. Yeah.
Easy peasy. I don't even need to rewatch that one. I know it by heart. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I think that'll do it now. So we'll call it good here. So we'll say for Ross Bristow, for Zach Shelton, for Nic Hernandez, for Michael Wolfman Wyndham, for Austin Pez Howell, I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we'll see you next time.
Abandon all hope, you who are about to enter here.
My father used to say, how you do anything is how you do everything. Call it the first and the last rule of life.
Have you given any thought where this ends? The table will never stop.
This campaign is not to kill John Wick. It is to kill the idea of John Wick.
You ready, John?
Yeah.
Mr. John Wick, the Baba Yaga.
No one, not even you, can kill everyone.
Let's get this shit over with.
Those who cling to death live.